Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's bar and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice piano string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Elena if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. Welcome to Elena's Bar, low impact full body workouts. Today I have the full house of the Resurgence of Sanity guys. Great to see you. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have an interesting topic today. And it's a timely topic because, you know, I received a lot of feedback from women recently. And some of the feedback is not that positive, you know. And
wait, let me translate. Okay, every time we do a stream, Elena says we're going to have a lot of fun today. Okay, so the world hasn't changed. And when she says she received a lot of feedback from women, what she's actually saying is she received a lot of criticism.
Well, yeah. I'm just trying to be welcoming here to the women, to the 1.5 women who might be watching our shows. But thank you, Steve. Yes.
Let you know.
Yeah. Well,
so 1.5 women.
Feelings or truth?
Yeah. Oh, well, I know, guys. We'll get there. We'll get there. You're just going like straight into it. Okay. Yeah, the topic for today is women and social media, and why women create drama on social media or elsewhere in their relationships and other things that they're doing with their lives. So, Steve, you proposed this topic.
So
I did.
I want to notice something. Women always run from accountability on this topic. You notice how Elena kept saying they instead of we.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Okay, myself included. Yeah.
Are you implying that Elena creates drama?
Yeah.
Well, we better ask Plutarch about this. Does Elena create drama in your life, Plutarch?
Every day, as often as she can.
Well, this is what women do.
So, is it a bug or is it just a feature?
It's a feature.
Okay. Well, okay, Steve, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because it comes up often enough that you kind of have to say it's a feature.
Mhm.
Because if it was a bug, like how can something so pervasive not be intentional? Now, I wish it was a bug. I wish I could say it was a bug, because then it's something that I could go in and fix and correct and it would go away. But it's a feature, guys.
Hey, and to build on that, it's just reality.
Mhm.
That means it's part of a woman's nature. She's going to do this. It's a man's job to put some boundaries around it, because basically it means her emotions are driving her need to create drama. And she, on her own, really cannot control her emotions or discipline her emotions. So she just needs assistance in this area.
I like how you use the word assistance there. It's such a nice word. It's such a woman word, because the kind of assistance that it actually takes is, in many cases, just outright restraint. I mean, Steve, you're laughing. I've taken her phone away to get her to stop. And see, I'm not talking about self-restraint. No. The women don't have the self-restraint.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking about just restraints. You have to put restraints on them.
Well, I've used the word boundaries. Restraint implies the use of some kind of force to maintain the boundary. That's restraint. Now, I'm not saying physical. I'm just saying it requires some action.
Mhm.
Restraint is, by its nature, if you think about it, it requires a bit of force. Is that a bad thing?
In the
I'm going to
eyes
answer that.
of the abominable government, yes.
Well, yes. I mean,
They can go take a fucking hike. Oh, I'm not even 8 minutes in. Sorry. So
almost.
close.
You were close. You almost made it. So, here's the thing, and I know lots of liberals, particularly, and government drones, will say that just taking away a person's phone is a form of physical action against their bodily person. Now, I paid for that phone. Okay, it's my phone. I pay to keep it. I actually bought the physical device, and I pay to keep it connected to the wider world. Okay, it's my phone. She has it so that if something goes wrong, and when she's not at home, she can get help. That's why she has it. But at home, she doesn't need it in her fingers all the time. And it's no surprise that most of the drama is created on the phone at home. So sometimes you have to take the phone away. Now, I can remote disable her phone, so that's actually what I threaten her with, because I just log into my computer and it goes away. But I do. I sometimes, look, guys, when your woman has a phone in her hand, she's doing one of two things. Okay. She's either out there looking for your replacement, or she's out there creating drama.
So they went from a group of clucking hens to like a worldwide group of clucking hens.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So we've established something here. If you take her phone and you physically hold it, that becomes physical abuse.
Correct.
Since you pay for the phone and you're withholding the use
financial
of that phone,
abuse,
and you pay for it, it's financial abuse.
Correct.
Oh man,
Oh.
you hit 2 categories with that one action.
Well, I bring it up because one
The
of the
ever-changing laws of abuse.
yeah. Well, I brought it up because Elena was accused of, or she was accused or told that she was in, that
In
she was
abusive
being,
relationship.
yeah, that she was in an abusive relationship. Sight
Every woman
unseen.
can say that. Every
I
woman
know.
can say that at some point.
Well, but it's just like sight unseen. They don't watch this channel, right? They don't watch me here and talk about the things that I do to my poor wife, right?
Mhm.
No, they don't
Mhm.
know any of that. They just assume it because their definition of abuse can be anything they don't
Hey,
like.
it can be kissing her with stubble and she doesn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Guilty, apparently.
Heck, I'm guilty too. And Elena will tell you she doesn't like it. I'm talking about the stubble kissing thing. Elena will tell you she doesn't like it. So by that definition, I'm guilty of abuse too.
Call the cops.
See, Elena, that's what you need to do.
That's crazy. And look, I've been inviting women to this channel. I even started tone policing myself a little bit. I'm not a battle X anymore. Well, I try not to be. But they
Oh, no. Hold on a minute. Okay. Yeah, okay. She's publicly restraining herself. If you heard some of the conversations that go on over our dinner table.
well, I have to film somewhere,
Well, but here's the thing, guys. There's actually a point I want to draw out of this. Okay, she's restraining herself in public. Okay?
Mhm.
That's
That
important.
means, yeah, this is all good. That
Uh-huh.
means that she's now fuming in private, which is probably for the best. But
Right.
now I have more work to do on the back end. I have more restraint that I have to put on her on the back end to keep her from picking up the phone and doing something she shouldn't, saying something she shouldn't. Okay.
Yeah, well, we all love Elena because she's a pick-me. Now let me define. I love her in a father to daughter manner. Nick loves her in a brother to sister manner. And Plutarch loves her in a husband to wife manner. But we like her because she's a pick-me.
I agree with you, right?
But at some point, every one of these men on this screen have told her no. all for different reasons, but all for the same purpose: restraint.
Mhm.
Don't say that. Now, sometimes it'll be, I'll say something in the group chat, don't do this, and then Steve will come in and he'll say, you better listen to your husband, or Nick will say, you better, it's not they're telling her no, they're telling her the no is justified, listen to it, which is actually something that a father or brother should be doing.
Well, I think it's what our society should be doing. That if a woman starts rebelling against your husband, and it used to be that way, right? And you guys can correct me, where a woman would go out and start whining and complaining about your husband, but he's doing this and that, and then society, well, you know what? You picked him. He's your husband. Just make it work. Go back to
True.
him and listen to your husband.
But it doesn't reach the point of rebellion. She's just kind of all excited about something.
Hysterical.
And, well, yeah, I guess it meets the definition.
In some
So I
cases.
come in and say, well, you can't change that. You can just be yourself. You can accept it. I'll explain something. Because I see the dynamics between Elena and Plutarch. And then after I'm done explaining, Plutarch comes in and says, yes, exactly. So it's a team effort. Sometimes I support him in what he says. Sometimes he supports me in what I'm trying to do. But it's like, calm down. Let's look at this. Okay, you're not entirely wrong. Your emotions are not wrong. But don't let them control your life. And so it's okay. Try to calm down a little bit and look at this other perspective. Or you're trying to do too much. You're trying to change something, can't be changed. So just chill out. Just accept it.
There's been a lot of acceptance that's been forced over here. It's because, remember, she is red-pilled. I had to do that many years ago to her. She does know these truths about women. She just doesn't like it. She just doesn't like it. And so a lot of the rage that we deal with on the back end is, why do they behave? Why do they do this? Why can't they see what what I'm trying to say? It's like, well, because they haven't been through what you've been through. And you just kind of have to calm down and walk away from the drama.
But they like the drama.
Well, they do, because it makes them feel something. And I wonder if, in part at least, if the drive towards creating drama on social media is because there's a couple ways I could go with this, but I wonder if it's because they've literally blown their systems out on, like you can take too much drugs and then the drugs don't work anymore and you have to keep increasing the dose. And I kind of wonder if that's what is going on with all the drama.
You mean they get so much attention, and attention is like a drug?
Well, we know attention is like a drug for women.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only way to get more attention on yourself is to create more drama.
Well, I don't create drama, I
Yeah.
I don't think, like, in my mind, because okay, it's not perfect, guys. It's not perfect.
Okay, no. Try again. Let's restart that. We'll try again.
A translation, she hasn't created any drama today.
That you guys know of.
Okay, Plutarch, what kind of drama did I create this time? I'm barely awake still. I haven't even looked into my social media yet. How could I create drama? I haven't checked what's going on there.
Let me check, kind of deflect a little bit. So our theme is women create drama. Hey, does this happen? Let me show you something. Okay, Pearl did a stream. It's called Pearl Explains Why Modern Women Ruin Their Relationships. Well, is that drama? Yep. And who is encouraging a woman, to ruin her relationship?
Other women.
Ah, yeah. They're creating drama. Now, it's your show, so I don't know if you want. We can listen to this because it's pertinent. But otherwise, it's this is a good topic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you. Do you want to listen to this or not?
Sure, let's go listen to it.
Okay.
Go into today. So, as you guys know, it is said that women keep women single. Single women cannot stand when any of their friends get into a relationship because they need their friends to support their bad behavior. This is even worse when a woman is married. A married woman's single friend will do everything and anything in their power to get the friend to leave her marriage. Anything the married woman shared with her single friends, the single friends will find a way to get her to view it in a negative way. Anything the man does will be criticized and scrutinized. It is the goal of single women to get her friend in a relationship or a marriage or to leave so that the women can be single again. That is why I always say all the time that women sabotage each other's relationships. The women that sabotage relationships can be friends or family members, like that single auntie and that single mother. You guys already know. They're always telling the daughter, you can do better. She can't do better. That's why she's with you. We're hypergamous. If we could do better, we would. Do you know what I mean? Biology. You're not going to undo years of biology. Your only choice as a guy is to be awesome. That's it. That's all you got, you know. Many men tell the stories of how their wives, mothers and sisters do the most to try to get their wife to leave them. The wife or the sister will intentionally put themselves in opposition of their husband to make the woman have to choose who she's loyal to.
Okay. Gee, is this true? Did some other woman try to tell you, Elena, that you're in an abusive relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee, that just happened. Nick, in your divorce process, was your family supportive of you, or were they just somewhat simping or promoting your ex-wife and saying there must be something you're doing wrong, but not really supportive of you taking charge?
No, they supported me because I knew she was batshit crazy. At least my side of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, when accusations are made, well, certainly her side of the family all sides with the woman. Oftentimes, many men say, yeah, my side didn't really support me.
Oh.
Especially the woman, the sisters, your mother doesn't necessarily support the man when the drama hits and the relationship is on the rocks.
Yeah.
Oftentimes
I
she'll
was
come.
fortunate.
Yeah. Okay.
They warned me about shit beforehand. I just didn't listen. They knew.
So, okay, this is about drama. I mean, if you expect to find a woman and not encounter drama, you're living in la la land.
Mm-hmm.
Women create drama. They crave it.
They crave is feeling. They crave feeling something, and drama. I would say that drama is a cheap trick in that sense. It works.
Yeah, the PUA community know it works too.
Yeah. Well,
they give them a little dose of it, spike them, let them go.
Right.
Watch them come back.
It works. Like that. That's the reason. I mean, these women, they're all complaining about all these misogynists, right? And in the red pill. They're not really complaining about the red pill. They're complaining about the fact that there's a group of men who figured women out. That's what they actually don't like.
The jig is up. The jig is up.
So women are always going to create drama because they need to feel something. And I've seen a lot of red pill guys. They say, oh, well, you need to make your woman feel something all the time. Right? You know, she's got to be drip fed drama every day. You know, and I look at it and I go, I mean, you're not wrong, but there's different levels of drama. And the other thing I would say is be careful about the drama that you invite into your life, because there is drama. Yes, she's feeling something, but as Steve was saying, when the hens get together in the kitchen and they start telling you, you know, the wife about how terrible your guy is for this reason and that reason, yeah, that's inviting drama into your life. You know, so yeah, that's the red pill thing. Yeah, there's drama there, sure. But it's corrosive, self-destructive drama. I mean, yeah, she's getting her daily dose, but it's directed at you.
She doesn't need drama every day.
Well, she also gets addicted to the drama. The more
Right.
you give her that drama, the more she's going to demand. And then what will you do?
It's actually a dopamine thing. So
Mhm.
drama is an emotion, or drama creates emotions. Emotions cause various adrenal and dopamine dumps in your brain. You can build up a dopamine resistance, so you need ever more amounts of it. So that's.
So, what about if a guy shows restraint, or restrains her and enforces boundaries one day to help her calm down, and then the next day, or a couple days later, whatever, he kind of teases her a bit, or she comes at, makes some accusation, and he agree and amplify to actually promote the emotions, or does something a little bit irritating to like mildly piss her off, and then make fun of it, and then soothe her down. Oh, gee, she's getting that emotional variability. Is this a good thing?
Yeah. This is the flip side of what I was saying about, so on the red pill side, oh yeah, drama's, you have to but don't let it be the clucking hens in the kitchen. No, you've got to be the source of it, because women attach emotions to every person. I feel this way about that person. You hear it all the time. She doesn't really care what emotion she feels. It could be a good emotion or a bad emotion. She just wants to feel something. And so when the clucking hens in the kitchen get together and they start trashing the husband, well, that makes her feel really not good about the guy. I picked a terrible guy. All these other women think I picked a terrible guy. When the guy creates emotions, you could say, oh, well, he's creating negative emotions. Well, maybe, but they're not necessarily directed at him.
So if you're always trying to calm down your woman, just bring her back to ground. Don't let the emotions overrun you. Oh, man, that makes you boring.
Mm-hmm.
You're a wet blanket. You're trying to take the fun and excitement out of her life. That's all you do.
Yeah, I don't always calm Elena down. I calm her down when she gets in over her skis. And some I have to stop her. Like, guys, I mean, you've seen her social media. You can tell that I'm not always restraining her. I saw that.
Oh man, just look at her. What's on her face?
Uh-huh.
Man, she is deep in thought, thinking about this. It's time to hear from Elena. What's going through your mind, Elena?
I don't feel good about this live stream anymore. I'm not that excited about it.
Well, but am I wrong? Do I always restrain your emotions?
Yes.
I don't.
It feels like you do.
There it is,
Oh,
guys.
feelings.
There it is. Well, now I'm going to translate that. It feels like I'm always restraining her emotions, because every time I restrain her emotions, she doesn't like it. She's not remembering all the times I didn't restrain her emotions. We've actually had conversations where it's like, okay, you took that one too far, and I have to come in and I have to do damage control on the back end. That's the case where maybe some more restraint was necessary than was actually applied. But again, a lot of this conversation right now is the back end that I'm pulling back the curtains on the back end that no one ever sees on the content creator social media side of things.
Well, let me point something else out. Women are so afraid of being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Elena doesn't like this stream. It's highlighting her. He feels, oh, maybe I'm wrong. No, you're not wrong. Chill out. We all love you, okay?
Okay.
You're fine. There was an example in the last week where she responded to a message. She sent a message. And because she neglected it, and then boom, did it just to get it out. And then we kind of discussed it and said, well, you could have said this, you could have said that. Oh, man. Her first reaction was, oh, I was wrong. I'm going to have to check with all you guys and blah, 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 blah. Just kind of spiraling it. And, this was in text. I said, no, chill out. Calm down.
Mm-hmm.
This was trivial. There was no repercussions. It was kind of a non-event. But we did have some comments. You could have said this a little better. You could have drafted something and then waited a day and sent it, or talked to someone else before you sent it. And it could have been so much better. But there was no damage. There wasn't anything. You weren't wrong. You were a bit rash. That's not a criticism. That's trying to help a woman. But the first thing she goes to is, oh, I was wrong. I guess I'm not going to ever do anything again. I'm exaggerating here. I am exaggerating.
Mhm.
Only a little bit.
My point is that good women do this. Bad women do this. All women do this. Guys, if you think you're going to find a woman who doesn't do this, and if you're going to criticize her for
Fighting
doing
against
it,
nature.
you're wrong. And you're going to have to actually tell her, hey, this really wasn't a big deal. You were not wrong. But you know what? Men understand this. If I do something that's not wrong, and some other guy comes up to me and says, well, you could have done this and it would have turned out even better. That would have been a better thing to do. You go, oh, okay. I mean, at least good men do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to push on these things with women, and that creates drama. But then you actually have to assure them in the process, no, you weren't wrong. No, I still love you. No, just don't worry about it. You have to have that in there too.
Well, as a side note to this, you guys remember in the 90s there was that phrase, it takes a village to raise a child?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to repurpose it. It takes a village to manage a woman. And the reason I say that is because if you taking this out of, just Elena here for a second, if you look at all of the quote unquote good women, the ones that guys are like, she's wife material, they all have an army, a small army, but they all have an army of men around them who check them. Okay. And that's dad. It could be brothers. It could be, if they have no brothers and no dad, you would hope that it would be something like the church. It's not anymore typically, but like the fewer men, one of the things that we've noticed and we were talking about earlier this week is that it takes all three of us sometimes to keep her in check. Right. It can't always be me who's the disciplinarian, which I know, bad word, right? Because then she just comes to see me as the enemy. And that ain't healthy either for a relationship. So for you women out there, if you don't have different men in your lives checking your behavior, you're going to, well, you're not going to have a successful relationship of any duration, for one, but you're also going to struggle with your own emotions. You're going to keep finding yourself flying off the handle at this thing or that thing, blowing up relationships even with other girlfriends, and like you can't ever seem to get settled and stable in life. Yeah, that's a lack of men in your life.
Well, your girlfriends are going to try and pander to your emotions and inflame them and destroy. Just have you act and destroy your marriage. So to counter that gaggle of girlfriends needs to be countered by, well, an army or at least a group of men to provide that calming influence. Because otherwise it's one man, your husband, against you and your gaggle of girlfriends. That is not good. That's not good odds.
Well, right, because it makes the man the enemy. It's part of the reason why the sisterhood is so good at convincing women to give up their men, because the sisterhood winds up the married woman, gets her all angry and emotional, and she's starting to feel these emotions, and then she's already wound up, goes back to her guy, starts bitching him out, and then he has to calm her down. Now, there's two ways he can calm her down. He can use the restraint method, or he can use the acquiescence method. Just give up and say, yes, sweetie, you're right. Okay, that one, of course, is going to prove everything about what her girlfriends are saying, that he's a weak man and she could do better. Okay, so acquiescence doesn't work. And if you go the restraint method, well, he's abusive. You can't, you need to ditch him. So as a man, there's no, if you're the only restraint in her life, if you're the only one, then you're always the one. You become the you become the enemy of everybody and everything. You can't be the only restraint in a woman's life, because she's just going to learn to hate you from everyone and everything else.
So, Elena, are you feeling any better about the stream yet?
Yeah, I'm fine. And I don't take it personally, guys. Yeah. And look, most of this advice that women get from women comes from single cat ladies anyway. So, ideally, like, women should ignore, like, if they want to have a different outcome, if they want to stay in a happy marriage, they should ignore the single women out there.
Well, it's not just single women. The moms are very frequently, at least today, didn't always used to be this way, at least with the frequency. But moms are very often the cause of many of these problems, because, okay, let's step back and do a little bit of red pill here. Women are hypergamous. We all know that. We all agree with it. Okay, so you're a mom. You had your kids. You're watching your daughters grow up. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I have the man I have, and I'm too old to leave. Okay. But I should have done better than I did, because I'm hypergamous, and all women think that they could do better than they did. Yeah. So instead, they try to live vicariously through their daughters, and they tell their daughters, no, you can do better. You need to do better than I did. They don't say it that way, but that's what they're saying. You shouldn't. He's not good enough for you. You deserve better than him. Okay, so very often the mothers are the source of the because
they're just either divorced or they're unhappy with the man they're actually married to.
Right. Exactly.
And so they're pushing that on their daughter.
But Nick,
Oh, that's
I think
bad.
in some cases they might even be happy. But women, in their hypergamous nature, assume, particularly in the modern day with the modern social media, they assume, and this is, you see this more amongst older women. Oh, well, I could have done better. Okay, and so they can't leave because they know that they are not enough to go out there and shake their ass on social media and get the attention of the better.
No, a lot of them do. They shake
No,
their.
I
Yeah.
know, but I'm talking about older women. Okay, yes, I know some of them still get naked
Some
because
still-
they always get naked.
Yes.
Okay, but
Mhm.
they know in their heads that it, like, they'll do it for the attention, but they know that it's not going to get what their daughters could get for doing the same thing. Why do you see all the moms pushing their daughters into OnlyFans? It's not about their daughters. It's about living vicariously through their daughters because they believe that the daughters can get something better through OnlyFans than
Well, it's not just
mothers.
OnlyFans. Look, it's also social media cloud. I see so many kids accounts, and we've analyzed them that are being promoted by the mothers of the children,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they do live vicariously through their kids. All of the attention that kids get. There was one girl I love to bring up. She's 6, maybe she's 7 years old now. She has over 1 million, like 900, whatever, maybe 2 million now followers on her Instagram. She already behaved like she already shows all of the sign of a future 3 or 4. You know.
Yeah.
And at 7 years old, this is how early it begins.
Well, right. That's not the kid. The kid at 7 years old doesn't know any of this, doesn't understand any
the
of
mother,
this.
The
That's
mother
the
who
mother
is
doing it.
controlling her account, who is pushing her to do these things like crazy dance, shake her butt, like she already is dressed like a whore at 7 years old.
Okay.
What will
But
we see?
this isn't the common case. The common, how this actually happens for most mothers and daughters is the mother's on social media, probably Facebook. Okay. But she's not like, controlling some large account or anything like that. She's got her friends on Facebook and that's it. But
Mhm.
she sees the attention that these younger women can get. She sees the potential suitors, to use the old school language, that are available on all of the internet. She wishes she could have that, but she knows that she really can't. Like we often say, women that they don't know. No, they know things. They're not completely irrational.
Mhm.
And so she knows that she can't really do that. Some women are delusional. They'll try anyway. But okay, it's easier and she gets to keep the guy she's with. Okay? So it's easier to push her daughter through it instead.
And
Well,
ruin
let
the
me-
life of your daughter. And in the end,
She
the
doesn't
daughter is
she doesn't
going
see
to
it that way.
be,
She doesn't see it that way.
a run through her, and like now
No.
they don't see it, but when economy collapse, okay, what will their daughters do?
That's a future problem, and women don't deal with future
Yeah,
problems very
right.
well.
Well, let me add something that kind of affirms this. My second ex-wife, told me stories, and it just irritated her to no end. When she was young, he'd bring a boyfriend home, and her mother would flirt with her boyfriend.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I mean,
It's common. It's common.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your mother will want to do better. Have you
No,
seen?
Well, that's living vicariously.
I'm curious.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
living. Yeah.
Have you seen the movie? An old movie. White. What's her name? I forgot. It's a Disney cartoon.
No, right?
the prince Snow White, exactly. Yes. How the stepmother, she was flirting with the prince and she wanted all of the attention that the princess was getting.
So Snow White is not actually a Disney cartoon. They just made a cartoon out of an older story.
I just remember.
That older story, I can't remember which one it is. It's Nordic European, so it's I forget which of the Nordic countries it is. But that story has been around for centuries.
Yeah.
And I say that so that because I want people to hear this is not new.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'll correct here. Snow White, it's a fairy tale. It's a German fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm. Yep.
But the original Brothers Grimm, it was subtly, or maybe dramatically or substantially different than how Disney portrayed it, because it had some lessons that were not necessarily pro-feminism. But Snow White is kind of pro-feminism. It's kind of female entitlement encouragement.
Yep.
Or Cinderella. I mean, no, maybe we're talking about Cinderella here. I mean, the same thing. They've all subtly been changed. Because it was Cinderella. Oh, man, do we talk about don't marry a single mother? Or if you have previous children, you marry a woman and then you have kids with her kids versus your previous kid. Who's she going to favor? Things like this are as old as time. And there were lessons in some of these old fairy tales that are kind of watered down, if not dismissed and shifted into a more pro-feminist promotion in the modern ones. And modern, I mean, anything since movies have been made. 50s, yeah, it was in there. 90s, absolutely. Currently, oh yeah, big time.
Oh, did you guys have, as a sidetrack, have you guys seen the disaster that's the new live action Snow White?
No.
Critical Drinker's been following that. It's hysterical. Just the Disney tried to make it fully woke and feminist, and it has just flopped hard. It's been fun to watch, but
it's just crazy.
Well,
I find it.
It's like what they do with the Star Wars shit. They ruin it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that the further you get away, so the Brothers Grimm fairy tales, as Steve said, they are trying to teach lessons. They're trying to teach lessons about timeless truths. Okay. When the further you get away from the truth, the less interested people are in the story you're telling. Okay.
Yep.
So, sure enough, you try and make Snow White into a female empowerment story, and all of a sudden people are like, meh, and people don't even know why they're meh about the new one. Disney will tell you, well, it's just because it's gotten so much bad press for this or that. It's like, no, it got bad press because you tried to do something that everyone looked at and went, but that's not the story.
Yeah, they are rewriting. They can't create anything new. They are rewriting the old stories that were popular at some point and people have absorbed. And like, look, I used to read those old fairy tales, and I know the lessons that they were trying to teach. And then when like if you introduce it in a completely new generation that was not aware of those stories, but there are still people alive who have read those stories, who have remembered them the way they were originally written.
Well, in this particular case, what I think has happened is that it's not so much that about people who are alive and remember the stories differently. There's some of that going on, but not as much as you'd think. And I think what is more going on with these sorts of stories is people just go, like it doesn't connect with them, because when it comes to the truth, and we've talked about this over on our stream, there are certain things that you cannot deny. You can try to change the meaning of words, but at some point you encounter reality. And whatever word you use to describe reality doesn't really matter at some point, because reality is what it is. And people kind of understand that, well, women behaving like this, all they see is a man, and they go, well, it's either, a woman behaving as a man, that's not a woman, that's something else. And their brains just go, and they walk away from it. They don't understand that it's a subconscious
it's
disgust, but
yeah. No matter how much propaganda they have been exposed to, there are.
But this also gets to another point. You can create too much drama. There's been so much drama around this particular movie, and at this point, it's drama overload, and people just walk away from too much drama. And I think this is where women get themselves in a lot of trouble, is they, I have, create drama. And then eventually the guy just checks the fuck out and stops. You can create too much drama. And of course, that's fuel for more drama for the woman, except now she gets to complain about how her husband's checked out and all he wants to do is go play with his Legos or train, whatever his hobby is. Right? Well,
yeah, it's typical way men deal with it. I can't deal with her drama, so I escape. It's understandable. You have to. The other solution is use some of your dominance and help her.
But it will
scale down
depend
the
on.
drama.
Okay, Steve. I think it will depend on how much drama she's been.
No.
Well, look, there are some women who are like.
No.
Unmanageable, like no matter no amount of dominance.
Sure, absolutely. And why? Plutarch was going there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Look, there is only so much drama that a guy has the ability to redirect, is the term I'm going to use. Okay? We cannot, we're humans. There's limits to our abilities. We don't have an infinite reservoir of drama dealing with, capability. Yeah, Nick?
Yeah, I got something to share, but right after you say.
Okay. So
quite apt.
So what ends up happening is eventually you just, either the guy is, so I'm going to reframe this. It's a shit test. Okay. It's a never ending shit test. And so as a guy, you have two choices. You can just constantly come up and deal with it. Okay. Just constantly deflect. And that's what Steve is talking about. That's your dominant masculine presence guy. Most men are not going to be able to do that. And it's not necessarily even the man's fault that he can't do that. Okay. It's this is why women chase the top 5-10% of guys, because most of them cannot constantly deflect the drama. And here's the thing, even those dominant masculine guys are eventually going to look at all the drama you create and they're going to go, you know what? I have no more interest in dealing with you, and kick you to the curb. So, it's like, whether or not the limit is the guy gets there rationally as part of his dominance and says, you're out. Every man has a limit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how he chooses to exercise that limit. That's all we're negotiating over here. And women, they don't understand any of this, right? it to a lot of guys, it seems like a difference without distinction. Oh, well, one guy just chooses to ditch, it's like, so it's, yes, guys, this one is about you. This is about how you handle her drama. He's going to kick out drama. Okay. It's what they do. You can either handle it. Go ahead, Nick.
And many times I'll have a video. It ends up as how this video goes. Got this from George Bruno.
Yep. Coffee and right. Yeah.
Oh, this is so funny.
Yeah.
There you go.
Amazing. Was it George Bruno? George Bruno?
Yeah, I think he got that from somewhere else, but
Wow.
I saw multiple versions going around yesterday or the day before. So.
Oh, that's so funny.
But you saw the drama, right?
Yeah. And
What?
Go ahead.
Okay. We're talking about the dominant man trying to put some restraint or assist her in controlling her emotions, so she doesn't go into the drama spiral. Why do dominant men fail at this sometimes? And why do non-dominant men pretty much always fail? Well, we've kind of talked about this before. A woman processes everything based on her experience and her emotions. So if she grew up without a father asserting some dominance to help her control and teach her how to, don't need to spiral out of control with your emotions. Put some restraint on it. Might not have been restraint that she liked, but now she's got experience with a man restraining her emotions. And ideally, the father can do that. And the father, there should be no sexual shenanigans going on there. He's the man who doesn't want her sexually. He can just say, this is it. And she can't use sexuality to subvert that. So now she has the experience of being controlled or subdued or assisted, however you want to say that. Yes, in some ways, it's controlling her emotions and it's bringing her back down to earth. If she does not have that experience, which I've called discipline, a disciplined woman gets there from having a father who imposes that restraint. Now you wife her up and you're that dominant man and you're trying to do this, and she has no experience in her childhood of feeling or experiencing that. I'm gonna say good luck to you guys.
Yeah, if she.
I had that conversation with one of my rugby buddies yesterday. He has this. He's talking about the drama of his wife. He's like, "This is what I do." He says, "I know she's going to do what she's going to do, but she understands. I'm going to let her talk and let her do her shit. But then I'm going to come in afterwards and deal with it." And I said, "Why do you think she lets you deal with it?" He said, "Well, that's what her dad did.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to what I said earlier in the stream. It takes a village to restrain a woman. It can't always be the guy, because if she never had a dad who restrained her, restrained the excesses of her emotions, then when you as a dominant man come in and restrain her emotions, she's going to love it and she's going to hate it. I know that's a paradox. All the logical men in the stream are freaking out, but that's how women operate. They're
trying to compensate for the lack of the
No,
fatherly
they're not.
Maybe they call it like unconditional. Or this is why, like, I'm just trying to understand from female perspective. Darling, can I say?
No, it's not a compensation. It's not. It's something they've never experienced before. They like it, but they've been told that it's something that they shouldn't like, and so they hate it. That's the duality I'm talking about. They like it. They like it because it feels good, and they hate it. They hate that they like it because they've been told that it's bad.
The evil patriarchy.
Exactly. I know we're being. I was rough on you there. I interrupted you because you were headed down a different track that I don't think is correct.
Well, you haven't even listened to what I wanted to say.
Hey guys, this is what it looks like in the back end.
The floor is open now.
Yeah, go for it.
What I was trying to say is a lot of women, they say that, maybe they don't say, but they feel like they are looking for the compensation where they were lacking the father's guidance and the father's discipline that he would be imposing. So they are looking for that unconditional love from men, because they didn't have that, like unconditional love from their father, where he would say, like, he would put restraints on them. They frame it that it's unconditional, but they are actually looking for somebody to place standards and boundaries on them where their father didn't do.
That implies a level of rationality and intentional thinking on women that I don't think exists.
It might unconsciously be true.
Yeah.
Women often seek for something that they don't understand what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
They say it all the time. Going on a journey to find myself.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Myself. Well, why don't you just look in the mirror? No, that's not it. Can't you just find it now? No, I need to go on a journey. Okay, they're seeking something that they don't even know what's missing.
Yeah. That and the reason that I'm pushing back on this is because it gets to this duality that men experience all the time. And I don't even know that women recognize it in themselves. And note that you didn't like it. Okay. What I said is they love that the men do it, and they hate themselves for loving it because they've been told their entire lives that it's wrong. And so that's the duality. They like it because they know that there's something about that man that's different than every other man that they've encountered. That's that alpha, that's that dominance, whatever you want to call it.
Well, that man has the capacity to restrain them. And look, maybe unconditional from the standpoint that the father doesn't expect having sex with the woman. And then, like, from a female standpoint, it actually kind of makes sense, So a woman expects a dominant man, right? The 10% of the world male population to love her unconditionally, right?
Where this unconditional thing is confusing me. I don't know where you're pulling that.
I'm pulling it from the feminists because I've heard them.
No, the feminists don't talk about unconditional love.
Oh, they talk about it all the time. How a man is supposed to love a woman unconditionally, and darling, they do.
Yeah, it's a placeholder.
Yeah, it's
So
not.
let me introduce a new term.
Mhm.
This comes from John Paul II, his theology of the body, which I have some problems with. We're not going there today. But he introduces a term for this fatherly love for his daughter, disinterested love. He's not interested in getting in her pants. It's love without the sexual component. Just call it disinterested love. It's acceptance,
Mhm.
but it's not enablement.
See, the reason that the reason I'm pushing it back against unconditional love is because unconditional love is a very specific thing that the feminists are looking for. And I think that's what you're getting confused. Restraint is not unconditional love.
I know that.
Right. And so when you start talking about unconditional love, it's kind of like, well, but you're saying that you were trying to tie unconditional love into this restraint. It's like, no, that ain't what they're talking about.
Well, this is okay. I mean, unconditional because he doesn't expect to have sex with her. And if you
No.
look at how women
No.
view simps, okay, let's look at this. You know, like women expect feminists, okay, feminist mind here, chick, okay, she's crazy, she's delusional. She expects a simp to love her unconditionally, so she expects to get his resources and everything from him without giving up sex. So in her mind, his love for her should be unconditional.
Oh, let me further refine this. In her mind, unconditional means I can do whatever the hell I want. I can ride as many cocks as I want. I can
Yeah.
give sex, withhold sex, go with Chad's wife, and then find Jesus and be the pure woman. And you're just going to love me.
So
No matter what my behavior is. That is the unconditional love that women want.
mhm.
There is no behavior. That's out of the question. He just gets loved and encouraged and accepted no matter how the hell she acts. That's what the feminist mind wants.
Right.
So
No, I agree with that.
When her father doesn't hold her accountable and place any restraints on her, she will want a man. She will want to fuck the man who will put restraints on her, but she will want that unconditional element that she was missing from her dad, where he didn't want her sexually. So this kind of explains why women choose to go like milk the resources of the simps and fuck the bad boys. Because I often hear feminists say that you can't get the ideal man who has everything. You know, so you have to choose this man for these purposes, that man for those purposes, like you know.
Okay. I want to caution you against trying to integrate everything into a single word or explanation.
Okay.
That particular behavior is probably far less rational or intentional than you think.
Mm-hmm.
They just want what they want at the moment they want it. And yes, when they want to ride the cock carousel, that's just in that moment, they want to be able to ride that cock. And when they want a guy to treat them a certain way, that's what they want. You're trying to connect too much.
I see.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Elena.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand a paradox? That two seemingly opposed ideas can both be true. Can you hold them in your mind at the same time and not discard one and come up with a temporary solution that seems to do it? It's kind of most people can't do this. I would say most women can't do this.
Most men can't do it.
Most men can't do it. You need a very, kind of probably a much smarter than average man that can hold a paradox in his brain and not short circuit.
Right.
Plutarch can add to this now.
Well, because what I'm describing is a paradox. Okay. Well, did I? Okay, there, I'm off. Yeah. Okay. So this paradox is she knows that she likes the man who can, she feels different. She knows that she likes how she feels when a guy has that dominance and can come in and restrain her. She knows she likes it. And at the same time, she knows. Knows. It's an emotional knows, not a, not a logical knows. There's no logic in this. There's no rational in this.
Okay.
She also knows that she shouldn't like it. Okay. And so the paradox that exists in the woman's head is, I like it and I shouldn't. And therefore, I hate myself for liking it. And so to resolve the paradox, you have to choose one or the other. Is that? And
Yeah,
they're going to, and in one moment they'll choose one, and then another they'll choose the other.
Let me put this in a very simple way. The shit test. Woman tests your boundaries. And if you give in to her and say, yes, dear, okay, whatever. She feels insecure. If she tests you and you say, no, we're not doing that. She bounces off. He feels like, oh, here's a solid man. And she will be irritated in the moment because you're not giving in to her. But yet you're a strong man. And now she feels protected and at peace. Her behavior kind of seems paradoxical to what she wants. And her emotions in the moment are not what actually benefits her a day later. This seems like a paradox. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Gee, Genesis 3. The truth is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that is Genesis 3 a paradox? Well, it is superficially understood. You understand the dynamics. There's a lot of wisdom in that you can observe.
Women and men. A paradox is something that it's, how do I describe this? It's an irritant. It irritates people because they recognize the truth of both sides of the paradox. Okay. I can pick one side and I can say, it is true that women like men who can put restraints on them. And it can also simultaneously be true that that exact same woman does not like men who can put restraints on them because they don't want to be restrained. That's the feminist side, right? But they like
There's
it.
The propaganda versus nature.
Exactly. This is where I was. Yeah, I wanted to ask.
Well,
but both existed.
Both exist, and both
Yeah.
have
Both
existed.
exist and have always existed within
Exactly.
the woman. You're calling this one side the feminist side. Yeah, okay, that we have a label for it. But it didn't just come up from feminism. It's always been there.
It's always been that way. Look at Eve, right? She was trying to rebel against her husband.
Well, rebellion is a better label for this than feminism.
Mhm.
Feminism is the modern label we use for this, but rebellion is the better label.
The extreme, and also it's
Fallen
based
nature
on female.
versus created nature.
But Nick, sorry.
Fallen nature versus created nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, you could all, yeah, for people who are not as who don't have the high language of Nick, it's it's ought versus is. women are
But-
one way and they ought to be another way.
But the nature of Eve to do what she did was present before the fall.
Mm-hmm. So what
So it's
feminism?
not necessarily, oh, it's because of the fall that causes women to behave that way.
Yeah.
And to kind of want to take charge. It, goes back to the battle of the angels with Lucifer, the highest angel, and he rebelled. He says, non serviam, I will not serve. In some way, that was the sin of Eve. I will not serve. I will not submit. I will not listen to my husband. I myself desire to have the knowledge of good and evil. Yeah, okay. Those kind of inclinations existed prior to the fall. Let's call that free will.
I would say just let's just call that creation, because clearly the women were created with the capacity. I didn't say the it was predetermined, but they were created with the capacity to do this. If they hadn't been created with the capacity to do this, it would have never happened. So women, this has always been present in female nature. There's no getting around this. It's, guys, you can't beat this out of your women. It won't happen. Okay. And you can't even, you can use male, you can use your masculine dominance to control it, but it's never going away. You have to accept that you're going to be in constant tension with your women over this.
And look, what feminism did, it just exacerbated the rebellious female nature that was already present in women. It just made it okay to behave that way.
Which is why feminism is the label we use, because it's really just the most superlative aspects of it. It's the most extreme aspects of it.
Well, feminism was a successful effort to remove societal and church religious restraints on women and to empower women.
Yes.
Yep.
In order to empower women, you had to depower men.
Yep.
I would say feminism was successful.
Yep. Wildly successful. It was wildly successful because not only did it empower women and depower men, it depowered men by convincing men to give up their power.
Oh, wow.
Quite the trick to do that.
Oh, yes. The trick. What kind of trick can we do on women that they will give up their power and control?
You can't.
Exactly.
It has to happen by force.
Because if you look throughout history, read the Bible, when women are restrained, it is restraint. Okay.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. So men gave up their control. They willfully gave up their control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't taken from them by force.
Well, yes and no.
There were aspects that were taken by force, but it was forced by proxy.
Yeah, by legislation it was taken by, and then all the
but in the beginning, in the Garden of Eden, men absolutely willingly gave up.
Willingly.
Simp.
Yes.
They simped.
Well, this is what happens in the institutions. If we had fewer simps in those institutions, then maybe
that would require that there existed fewer simps in the population.
Right.
Look at the institutions as a distribution of the population, and you'll probably get about right. When we try to push things on the institutions, we are intentionally ignoring the people behind that make up the institutions. Institutions are just groups of people.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time I refer to institutions, I refer to people who run these institutions,
A lot of people aren't going to
catch
They're
up
gonna-
with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you want to fix this, you absolutely have to convince men that restraint of women is not just a good thing, it's a necessary thing for their own continued survival.
Yeah, there's a Twitter post I did, I think this morning. It was about, we're talking about this. Let me find replies, profile, replies. There we go. Yeah, it says, I was talking about restraining women, and somebody replied to me saying, historically, women had a lot less rights to do what they wanted in the first place. They either couldn't marry who they wanted or they couldn't divorce it once they were married. I said, yes, the data proves they are terrible if permitted to do so. Look what's happened. The results are in your face. Societal destruction. Nobody wanting to get married. Not nobody, but less marriages. People don't want to have kids. Crazy people everywhere. Violence.
Yeah.
Mass incarceration. Young school stuff with the what's it called? The long range.
Hole punchers.
Yeah.
Okay, you remove restraints from women. Nick, there are age-related incidences of the sexual nature that happen in schools. What's the story lately?
Oh, there's a lot of female teachers wanting to get with minors.
Do you hear much of male teachers?
Nope, not much. Every once in a while.
And underage girls? Not
Well,
so much, for two reasons. One, there aren't that many men in the schools anymore.
Right.
And secondly, we have removed the restraints from women. Now they're acting without restraint. Gee, who'd have thunk?
Well, also it shows that our society doesn't give a fuck about little boys, what happens to their lives after they've been through that kind of experience with their teacher. But everyone is so concerned about women being raped. When I literally saw how provocative these girls dress in school, and it's like, it boils down to the self-restraint, self-discipline from the teacher. But you know what happened? One of the teachers, male teachers back in my town, he was teaching some classes in school. The girls, like teenage girls, they would dress up very provocatively, and they would get mad at him for not wanting to have some kind of sexual intercourse with them. And then they would blame the teacher. They would blame the male teacher for not giving them that kind of sexual attention that they were seeking.
What? If he did give them the sexual attention, then they'd get all upset and call him an old perv.
Right, they would call him the rapist or something else, right? They would kick him out of school, but then the teacher would say no, they hated him for not giving it to him, and they would hate him for giving it to him. There is nothing right there.
That is just female. That's a female control technique. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what the female is trying to do here is she wants the sexual attention, but she doesn't want it for the purpose of sexual attention. She wants something else for it. What she wants is leverage over the man to get what she really wants. In this case, it could be passing grades or, something like that, right? I want to be careful here about trying to place that. I mean, yes, she's creating drama, and she is, But this is way more, people say, oh, women are rational or irrational. No, this is actually a very rational thing to do.
Mhm.
He's just seeking leverage over a man to get what she wants. Okay. That's it. That's all it is. And she's using the fact that she's young and pretty to try to do it. It's kind of a simplistic way of doing it, but we expect simplistic out of the young.
And then what do we expect? Like male teachers, I hear people say, well, we need more male teachers. We need more male teachers. Like, yeah, if you are immediately taking the woman's side, like how are men supposed to teach there?
Well, they can't, but
being a
This is
male
why we
teacher,
see women teaching mostly in schools.
it's a dangerous job.
It is a very dangerous job.
Actually dangerous.
mm-hmm.
So you're a young man. You go into teaching. You
Mhm.
go into high school. Okay, you show up mid-20s. It doesn't matter your age. You're in there. If you're teaching 16-year-old girls, some of them look damn good. And they're flaunting it. They're just experiencing their blossoming in their sexual power. And they're going to be dressed provocatively. And they're going to try and entice you. And even if you're a man who doesn't take the bait, the jail bait, you can still be accused of that, and it can destroy your life. It's a dangerous job. And in addition to to men saying, yeah, I'm not getting married because that's too dangerous, they're also saying, yeah, I'm not going into teaching. That's too dangerous.
The younger generation knows.
What does the wise man do, Nick?
Hate men. Stays away.
Yeah.
Does not go
Isn't
near.
there something in Proverbs? The wise man sees danger and walks away, walks the other direction.
You stay far from her steps of her house or whatever.
Well, that's another passage. Now, okay, this is just an aside. Okay, we are 3 Christian men. Yeah, should you become Christian? Yep. But I'm not trying to convince anybody to become Christian. Let's assume you're not going to do that. Okay, great. That doesn't mean that there is not wisdom, ancient wisdom in the Bible that we can bring forward and apply to our lives. Whether you become Christian or not, we can capture that wisdom and bring that to you. That's all we're trying to do here. We're not trying to convert you. We're trying to point out, hey, there's some wisdom here. Yes, it applies today.
Well, and a lot of people refuse the moral principles. They just want, facts are immoral, right? Everything is immoral in our society. Maybe if we had more moral principles in place and taught to people, we wouldn't be living in these chaos.
Sure. But who's going to do it?
Nobody's going to do it because it requires authority to do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And saying things that are going to hurt women's feelings. Oh, that's like making them feel bad and showing restraint and boundaries. Yeah, that institutions are not going to do that.
They are not going to do. Well, we are doing it to some extent, but again, we don't have the authority. We don't have the authority, like you mentioned.
Are we doing it, or are we? I mean, we're not doing it to other people.
Yeah.
I think the best that we can do is we can demonstrate it
and move the Overton window.
Yeah, I don't think we get to do it as an imposed on other people. I think the best we can do is do things like talk about, it takes the 3 of us are all involved in putting restraints on Elena, and we all do it differently. and then people can
Right.
see that and go, wait, it works? Well, yeah, it does.
Well, we're not. None of the three of us are tyrants.
Well, I'm still here. I'm still talking to you. guys.
Well. According to her Instagram, I am an abusive tyrant. So
Damn, it's a good thing we
Hey.
we exist to put some restraints on you, Plutarch.
mhm.
My existence is abuse.
Mine
you
is
had
too.
Oh yeah,
My shirt.
yeah. Well, Nick, I
Being
I
a
have
man is
graduated-
basically you by existing as a dominant masculine man, you are therefore your existence to the world is abuse. Everything you do is abuse.
Yes. I need a shirt like that just because apparently I've been elevated to that by her Instagram as well.
Just agree and amplify. Yeah.
No, it's
everything.
usually the low quality. I call them the low quality women who have a feminist mindset, which is most women today. They don't want to be disciplined. They view it as abuse.
Yeah. I would argue that even the high quality women don't want to be disciplined. They might just be willing to accept it
They might
because it's been
accept it.
demonstrated why they need it. They don't necessarily want it. And that's a key point for the guys here. Even a good woman doesn't want it, so she's going to fight you on it. Elena fights me on it. Okay? She doesn't want it either. Oh.
oh, but that's the paradox.
Yep. There it is.
She fights you on it. She hates it, but then she loves you for it.
Yep. Later. It's
Later,
always later. Frequently, it's the next day.
No, you mean when I forget?
No, not forget.
No, you do not forget.
No.
Remember that lesson from what the text you sent. Draft it, let it sit, sleep on it, and then you'll have some insights the next day. This is the same thing. You're told something, you sleep on it, and your brain processes a lot of that stuff when you're sleeping. And now the next day you have a different perspective.
Well, yes, but your feelings also cool off. So I mean, like
Fair enough.
forget your feelings. You know.
You don't forget your feelings.
Yeah.
Your feelings have changed. Your brain has processed things overnight, and now you have a different perspective the next day. Just like when you write something today, you process it overnight, you have a kind of a new perspective the next day, and you're going to just, wow, I could say this better. I could say this differently. Oh, I need to include this thought. Oh, I was a little bit angry and harsh yesterday. I need to tone that down. So many insights and changes happen overnight after you sleep on it.
Well, Steve, can I pull on that thread a little bit? Because
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
okay.
Mhm.
What we see happen, particularly with people blame social media, but honestly, texting is even worse. Because what these are is designed might not be the fully correct word here, but these are tools that very definitely encourage us to respond immediately. Instagram, and the reason that I'm saying designed isn't really the right word is because yes, there is a box sitting at the bottom of your screen with that says, reply here, right? Or, post a comment or, right. It's everything about these systems is built to encourage you to reply immediately because they don't want your rational, thought out response. They want your emotional reaction. And so, we can talk about, the damaging effects of social media on women, but really the only damaging effect of social media on women is that they can reply instantly, that they can fly off the handle instantly. Texting is the same thing. And so, again, back at the beginning of the show, I was talking about how I have to take the phone away. Taking the phone away is merely a way to slow that down. Say, no, you don't need to respond to everything going on in the world right this instant. I've got a Twitter post that was writing until Twitter blew it away, which is a problem. It's actually a design problem with Twitter. I like to write, sleep on it, write some more, sleep on it again. Okay. And this is on Twitter. And then Twitter half the time blows away my post because Twitter is designed to get you to and encourage you to respond quickly.
Write it on Word or somewhere else.
If that's
I've learned that lesson. You write something great and poof, it's gone. Oh,
right.
I made the mistake.
It happened to
I
me
should have wrote it over here so I could
save
hold
it.
on to it, save it, craft it before I send it. I've written some great things that just absolutely evaporated before I could share my insight with the world.
I on this particular one, yes, I do frequently write things. The new version of Notepad on Windows is great, actually. But the reason I brought up Twitter is because Twitter will do this thing where if you haven't looked at a page in like 12 or 24 hours, it literally refreshes the whole page and blows it away. That is actually, I don't think that, knowing how software is written, they didn't do that intentionally. They thought, oh, we have updated stuff that we need to get out to you, so we have to refresh the page. But your brain on social media knows that Twitter's going to do that to you. And so you tell yourself, oh, I've got to write this out and I've got to finish it. Yes, the correct answer is to go to a different tool and write it somewhere else. But the design of social media is such that it encourages you. Facebook actually famously made a change where they would they now refresh your timeline on Facebook every 3 or 4 hours. And that refresh does the same thing. It blows away whatever you were working on so that it can refresh the timeline and show you the latest content and get the latest updated whatever. Okay. Social media is designed for women. It's designed for immediate response. It's designed to create drama. That's its purpose. And so when I take the phone away, what I'm saying is no more drama for you today. We've had enough. And that is when you're dealing with people who cannot do that themselves, who have not trained themselves, who have not disciplined themselves to do that to themselves.
I started limiting my time on Instagram. Actually, I don't spend that much time on Instagram
until you get sucked into an emotion vortex.
Well, if it's like, come on, if it's something like so stupid and like I want to help people.
There it is, guys. There it is.
But sometimes, like you open it and it just starts pushing content on you. Like you watch one, I'm like, damn, like I'm trying to get to my page and to check if I have any messages and if there are any questions there. And then it just you have to watch another video.
It's almost when you are on there and you encounter people that are so stupid that can't understand, and you're just trying to explain it, does it frustrate you and make you angry and try and cause you to let me just tell you how it should be, and you become more emotional about proving them wrong? So does encountering that cause you to become emotional?
Well, I'm doing it also to spice up more awareness because like people who follow these content creators, it's like behind the scenes work that like I think we could benefit from, because when you write something that like disagrees with the delusional entitled message, some other people might look at it and say, you know what, this person makes sense. I'm going to check on their content and see like what do they say, because when they are just feeding straight into like drama, Tacticus is here. Great to see you, Teddy.
Yeah.
Hey, tactics.
Can I point something out? What just happened there?
Please do, Steve. Please do.
I asked a plain question.
A yes, no
Not
question.
answer my question.
Oh, what was the question? Sorry.
She just excused her behavior
Yep.
without answering the question. Was that what you were thinking, Plutarch?
I was thinking her hamster's working overtime over there. Okay, guys, this is there's actually a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's coming out today. Very frequently, we will be having a conversation, and I will say, you need to calm down, you need to put the phone away, you need to do something else. And she will go back to this argument of, well, I'm just trying to do the work that needs to be done. And I'll go, tomorrow. No. I gotta do it right now. Why? Because it's all in my head right now. No, it's the emotion's all there. Okay. She feels, and she can feel the words flowing through her fingers and right. See, she knows, she's laughing because she knows this happens quite a bit. And so what you just saw her do was rationalize. And I have heard this many times. I'll come back the next day and I'll get the rationalization of, well, I was trying to do this, I was trying to do that. And my thought process, and I point this out to her sometimes, not all the time, because I can't always be the bad guy, okay, is that's not what was going on last night, was it?
So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to stop doing what I'm doing, or like
Stop.
what?
Stop. You just went to, oh, I'm behaving wrong. Stop. Just a normal woman. You're behaving as a normal woman. This stuff happens. Just recognize it and say, yeah, okay. Thank you for trying to, bring some rationality and bring some restraint. This is not, Elena's wrong. Elena's a good woman. I said earlier on in this stream, all three of us love you. This is not about saying Elena is wrong. Elena is just a normal woman. She's a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
So don't take it personally. Nothing we've said tonight or today, I'm used to talking at night to you guys. Nothing we've said today is a criticism or complaint or showing that you're wrong. It's just the way it is. You need to accept that. And any man that's listening to us talking about this, yes, we're not criticizing her. We're just talking about behaviors. And you're going to have to accept those behaviors. Don't try and change them. That's just what happens.
I don't try to change what she does. However, sometimes I have to take the phone away because this is where we run into these problems with feminists. Oh, well, but you're trying to change her behavior. No, I'm actually looking out for her. So very frequently, social media, and every guy who's been married will tell you this, social media interrupts things like sleep patterns. Okay.
Happens to me. Yeah.
Right. You stay up too late, or even if you put the phone down, your brain's still hamstering out over the latest thing, right?
Oh, this is the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. See, she knows, she
I know,
understands.
because I'm guilty of that. Yeah.
Right.
I tried recently. I started like purposefully reducing, like only checking on like this person, that person, and like doing it very quickly, but it kind of sucks you in. It sucks you in. It's very hard to resist,
Well, it's very hard to resist. So it's easier for men to resist because social media is an emotion engine.
Yeah.
It exists to create and amplify emotions. Drama is merely a tool to create emotion. Okay. So when women are creating drama, they're really trying to create emotion. Social media allows you to amplify that emotion to the whole world and to receive the emotional response of the whole world. So it is the most addicting thing out there for any human, but women in particular are vulnerable to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I say I take the phone away, what I'm doing is I'm saying, and I've said this before, you've had too much social media for the day. What do I say? You need to go do something else. And then what do you say? Oh yeah, I should go play my piano.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How many times have we had that conversation or something like it?
Well, the problem I think a lot of women are experiencing with social media is that it's the only thing they do. You know, it's their hobby.
Well, that's
They
an
spend
addiction.
hours, like days,
Yeah.
making great,
Yeah.
awesome content. And it is addictive. It's very addictive. I'm glad that I have some other hobbies, like I teach fitness, I do other things with my life, and I'm not just on social media. So yeah, I put like a small snippet of, like playing,
Well,
the piano, but the rest of my life is hidden, and I prefer it that way.
well, yeah, but you still even put your hobbies on social media, and I'm not saying that's good or bad.
Well,
Not-
you know what? It's better. I think if women were actually had some skills to show, it would be better than just showing off their pretty parts and like the attention. Okay. Women are looking for attention. This is what I talked about with Donovan Sharp, right? We will do a lot of things for attention, and men are either giving us that attention or they are not. And look, in my mind, okay, you can disagree here. If women try to earn attention by like doing a certain skill, like showing how they can play the piano or how they can play the violin, or they are actually doing some job, it's much better than just shaking your pretty body out there and getting attention that way.
You can't say that. Now you're criticizing women. You're making them feel bad. But you have men that like you. That makes you a pick-me, which is the hated kind of women. Other women hate pick-me's because they're being criticized, but yet
I don't care. I don't get that unwanted and how they say unapproved attention from men, because I behave myself. I'm more restrained than them. I have a better self-control than they have. And it's a fact, and why should we be so scared of praising the women who can restrain themselves better versus the ones who are just public 3 or 4s? And women who are reluctant, like I see some married women there, but how dare you to shame? It's their choice, it's their body, they can do whatever they want to do. Their reluctancy of criticizing these women shows that they are willing to behave in the same way as these 3 or 4s are. They're just looking for a proper moment to do that. When they are fed up with their husband, then they go and then they do the 3 or 4 thing on social media. There is nothing wrong in criticizing the women who are basically, trying to get attention like public 3 or 4s. I don't see any problem with this. And I'm a married woman. I don't want, like that, like, okay.
Where's that sound bite? Where's that sound?
Uh-huh. Well, guys.
Oh, guys, do I know how to bring up something? And I call that putting a quarter in Elena.
Steve knows how to do that.
It's like, yeah, put a quarter in the monkey and just watch it go.
We got her wound up.
No, it's just like my frustration is mostly with women, because they like, look, they don't want to defend what they have. They are pro we are team woman here, we are pro sisterhood, even though we are married, so we are willing to milk our husbands for resources, but then we also want this right to expose ourselves semi-naked whenever it suits us.
Did we get her wound up?
Yeah, it's terrible that they do that. They need restraint. I can't do it. All I can do is move the Overton window.
The restraint, they're not going to accept it.
Of course not.
Okay.
This is my whole frustration here. You see, like I'm frustrated here.
Steve,
There is
great.
no restraint.
It's going to be a rough lunch today, Steve.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
she's got the
You
drama
guys
she wanted
started
today.
it.
This is the
Has she-
drama she craves.
yeah, there. Well, and note how we
Got
didn't stop her.
electrolytes.
Note how we didn't stop her. Okay, we just let her wind herself up. That's a small demonstration of the lack of restraint on women. Okay, they just get themselves wound up, and they keep winding up.
Drama. It's got what women crave.
Rondo.
Okay, guys, if you want,
You got that.
if you want me to stop talking bad things about the three of us and shame them, I will.
No, that's not what we're saying. That's not there's nothing to do with what I said. What I said was when a woman has no restraint, they just keep getting wound up, and they wind up faster and faster and tighter, and they just boom, and then their heads pop, they blow up, right? And
most women are not going to have any restraint today.
oh, we know. We've said that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we know. Most women have no restraint. And that's why you see at every aspect of life, these women come in, wind themselves up, and explode. And then they demand that the world genuflect to their explosion and try to calm them down and do what they want to do. Okay, that's the restraint of men to not silence these women. I think it's actually been, maybe, a little too much. Sometimes men, you need to put restraint on other people. And that might mean taking away her phone for a little bit. Okay?
Right. But Plutarch probably notices what I did. Probably other people don't. What did I do twice? I put restraint on Elena by challenging her ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I assured her, you're a good woman. You're not wrong. I love you.
Aww.
Because a woman feels when you're talking about this stuff, oh, you're criticizing me. Maybe you won't love me. No, you have to put the restraint on. Then you have to actually assure her, you're still here. I love you. You're not a bad person. You got to do both of those. And then she can actually hear what you're saying. If you never assure her of your love while you're talking about this, and she's going to take this as criticism. If you don't do that step, she's not going to be able to hear you.
God, how many times have I done stuff like that? And by the way, guys, the woman will tell you that you don't assure her enough. That's a shit test. Okay.
So, Elena, did my assurance of my love for you, did it help you to stay grounded and stay present in the moment and not spiral?
I think so. I don't know. You tell me. If I spiraled, I spiraled or not.
Well,
you still spiraled. Okay, that's not the issue.
Yeah.
It's that, there was that just a little bit of calm. Also illustrates another thing. Don't ask a woman or expect a good answer when you ask her, how did I do? Did this help you? He's going to say, I don't know.
Because they don't know. They really don't know.
He's not thinking on that level. He's reacting to what the stream of communication. He's in the present moment. There is, in my mind, I have what I'm doing. Then I have this model this outside observer that's looking down on the interactions, and I check in with that once in a while. What's going on? That's an abstract concept. It's a model of reality that exists in the back of my mind that's observing and reflecting on what's happening. I don't think women have that. Does that make any sense to you, Plutarch?
A few do, but not many. And frankly, the ones who do, most men, you probably wouldn't really like them that much, because they're not going to come across as women. They're going to come across as not men in the liberal sense of, transing the women. They're going to come across as men in terms of how they think. You're going to go, wow, am I talking to a woman or am I talking to a guy here with outward female manifestations? So I don't think that we've even selected for women who can do that. Men kind of look at that and they go, ugh.
But men do that. A lot of men do that, right?
Yeah. Again,
so there is
a
difference between the mental processes, the existence of men in the existence of women. They perceive reality and what's happening in completely different ways. They're not equal. They're not the same, which this equality means we've been trained to think a woman can do anything a man can do.
No, she can't.
In jobs and whatnot, except, well, maybe she's not quite as strong and she can't quite do the same thing. So we can modify things so she can still be equal. No, her brain works differently. They are not equal. Doesn't make a woman lesser than a man. Makes her roles different. And she cannot fill a man's shoes. A man cannot do what a woman is designed to do.
Yeah.
I don't use a sports car and a pickup truck the same way. No, they both have an engine and four wheels. The purposes are completely different. The function, the design is different.
We need to get back to embracing the difference on that. Mm-hmm. Women are not built to do what men do.
Yep.
I was saying this a couple weeks ago, back when all the plane crashes were happening. I have seen men freeze in an emergency situation, and I've seen women freeze in an emergency situation where something goes wrong. But I've seen a lot more women freeze than I've seen men freeze. It can happen to both.
The reaction speed is actually different. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but I know like race car drivers driving vehicles, men have a higher reaction, higher response time than women.
Or a lower response time to stimulus. Okay. So there was a test. It was done on football players, but they would like drop a stick. You just drop a stick, and the player would try to catch the stick as it was falling. The men could catch it. I mean, these are football players. Now, not all men could do this. It's like some of them, their reflexes and reactions weren't up to it, but none of the women could catch the stick. It's just not what women are built to do. They're just not built to do that. We need to, as a society, we need to accept that women are built to do different things. And part of what that means is we need to accept that women create drama because they're built to do different things. Women are built to concern themselves with the tribe. They're built to make sure that people are okay, that everything is okay. Okay.
Man, Helen of Troy, a lot of drama.
Well, yes. Like anything, without restraint, it goes too far. So all these women, they get on social media and they see that something is wrong in the tribe. And these were things that women typically didn't see before. Like they weren't pushed into it. It used to be that who went down to the town square and participated in the public forum. Well, the men did. The women didn't know this stuff was happening. When the women come to the public forum and they see all these men just having these horrifically intense fights over current thing, the women freak out and they go, "Oh no, something is wrong. I need to come in and we need to fix it."
No.
Exactly. Because women
No.
women they have a different view and a different purpose. And when we expose them to things that they are not built to handle, they try to take the tools that they do have and apply them to the problem. So the Twitter or Facebook or Instagram is just the modern version of the public forum, of the town square. And so now all of a sudden women see all the problems in the world and they go, "Oh my God, I need to fix this and I need to fix that. And oh no, my tribe is falling apart." Take the phone away. The men will sort this out if you let them. But
yeah, that's because women are armed with a screwdriver and a hammer. Men have a toolbox. It's full of adjustable wrenches, spanner wrenches, sockets. We can use the tool that's designed for the job. But a woman is standing there with a screwdriver, manipulation, or hammer, brute force drama. That's all she's got at her disposal.
right. Those are things that men can use, but why use a hammer or why use a screwdriver when you've got a socket, right? When you've got the correct socket to fit that particular problem. But women, we can give you that stable society you want. We can give you that safe society you want. But first, we must place restraints on the drama. We must place restraints on the reactions. And, people it's been popular to say, "Oh, we need to ban corn." Of all the things that would benefit society, banning corn doesn't even that we could ban to make society better. Banning corn doesn't make my top 10.
I think we should. You know why?
Okay.
It'll make young men really pissed off.
Well, that's more means to an end. That's more means to an end. I get where you're going, though. That's
right. But restraining women and subduing all drama and emotional variability, that's not the answer.
No,
not
it's not.
Restriction. You need some boundary. You need some control rods, like a nuclear reactor. You need the reaction. You need the heat. Sometimes you got to put the control rods in. Just temper it. Bring it down a little bit. But you don't want to be the wet blanket, guys.
Right. Here's what I would say, though. Women, if they were less involved in the social media, it would be to their own benefit. And it would be to the benefit of society, because women, they come in and they freak out with what they see. Our only other choice is to hope somehow that women evolve the ability that men have evolved over thousands of years, but they're going to have to evolve this within the next 5 years.
Unlikely to happen.
Right. To handle these situations like men have. To use Steve's analogy, to build up a toolbox of tools to handle these situations and understand this tool goes here. Personally, I think that the restraint that we're going to need to be talking about here is men, unfortunately, you're going to have to take control of somehow at some level of women's use of tools like social media, because they exist specifically for the purpose of spiraling women emotionally.
Yeah, well, also keep in mind that we live in a gynocentric society. People listen to women. Women listen to women. They listen to other women.
Women were listening to women before social media.
True. But now social media has replaced the real interaction
Exactly.
people used to have before.
There is a social life outside of social media. You don't need social media to have a social life. It is just the most convenient way to get the largest dopamine hit possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this
And not be
is related or not. Women say, "Oh, I had to get away from him. I had to divorce him. He was a controlling man." Okay. Mhm.
Oh, sounds familiar.
Yeah. Are there controlling men? Yes.
Yeah.
A few.
But for your average man, I mean, I'm talking average, like 98, 99%. You guys have any idea how much effort and constant attention and energy that has to go into actually controlling a woman?
Oh.
Have you ever been in the situation where she's erratic and she's that type of, maybe you've encountered a woman who wants to be controlled, wants the restraint, the discipline, whatever. Holy shit, talk about needy. It takes more energy and effort than I have. Most men do not have the energy, effort, or will invest that much time in controlling a woman. Yes, you need to step in once in a while, but if it's constant, hell no.
Yep.
I'm out of here.
That's why I said that as a dominant man, you have two choices. If she's just constantly exploding, you walk away. You get a different one. Okay. And there's a lot of women out there who they honestly believe that this constant emotion is what men want. No, like even a dominant guy is going to drop your ass.
Mhm.
Okay. And this is where women will turn around and say, "Oh, well, he wasn't really a dominant man. If he was a dominant man, he would come in and he would control me."
He wasn't emotionally available.
Yeah. Well, it's like
one way.
the women always have an explanation for why a man can't restrain her. And it's never he just didn't want to anymore.
Well, it's because feminism convinced them that the more drama you put out there, the more you are valuable to a man. The more the man wants to work for you, and he has to earn your trust. Remember, it's all about the work that he has to do.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
know, guys. I agree with you. It's just how they view it, you know.
And what does Steve say? What are the three things a man wants?
RSVP.
RSVP. Mhm.
Yeah.
Peace. The last one.
Peace. Yeah.
Yeah. For anybody who hasn't heard it, it's respect. Sexual variety. Come on, guys. You want that adventurous personal horror in the bedroom. Okay. Yeah. And peace. You don't want a contentious woman. Okay, the first one, respect versus contempt. Nope, she's got contempt. Nope. Sexual variety. Yeah, you don't want a prude. Peace versus the nagging, contentious woman. Oh my God. Look at the opposite of those three things, and you will find your nightmare woman.
You know, I think about it, and I think a lot of men would be willing to give up sexual variety for a woman who does peace. Respect versus contempt, that's more on about her and how she views you. Right. You know, that's like, okay, she either does or she doesn't. But I think a lot of men would willfully give up sexual variety for a woman who is peaceful at home.
Oh,
Yeah, but if
absolutely.
you don't have
You
sex,
mean-
you're probably not going to have a peaceful
No,
home.
I'm not saying
we
sex,
gotta
I'm
we gotta
saying sexual
respect. We
variety.
can't do that one sexual position that I like, but she's not gonna nag my ass. Yeah, okay, I'll take that deal.
I think a lot of guys would. Again, some guys won't take it. Some guys, you've got to do all three, and some guys can frankly demand all three. Okay, but for a lot of guys, I think, particularly because we have to deal with so much contention in our public lives, you know, working and whatnot. And, you know, we already have so much to deal with that coming home and having a woman whose fundamental demand is you have to restrain me and I am going to do my level best to make you work as hard as possible to restrain me. Most guys are going to look at that and go, oh, fuck me. This again. Right. But women do, they tend to take this to the extreme. Why? Because it produces the most emotions. It produces the strongest emotions. How often have we heard the story of the woman says, oh yeah, and he blew up at me. And then I knew he actually loved me. You know, a guy just finally loses his shit. And then she goes, oh, he really does care about me. And the guy's sitting over here thinking, oh, you know, I can't lose my shit. I can't lose my shit. I can't lose my shit. And then she just pushes him too far. And, oh, he really does care about me.
Yeah, but that one, I have some experience with that.
So do I.
So, if you use this tone, what did you do? No, that's unacceptable. You are not going to do that again. I'm not going along with that. Remember, see that tone I used? It's a very intense tone. Did I raise my voice? No. It was very intense. A woman will remember that and process that. And if she reports you, she's going to say, he was yelling at me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Yeah.
yell. He was just very intensive and purposeful. Yes, I have been accused of yelling at women. But my stepdaughter said I yelled at her. Bullshit. I used that. No, this is not allowed.
My dad
You
used
say
that.
it in an intense, quiet voice, and she's going to perceive that as he's yelling because I'm feeling bad, and he's maybe criticizing me.
Oh, this is why I said that my dad never yelled at me, because he
Yeah.
really didn't.
I've had to use. I don't have to use that sort of call it dad voice if you want. I don't have to use it very much on Elena. Sometimes I do, and she'll tell you that. Most of the time I don't. Most of the time it's actually a pretty reasonable adult conversation. My experience, it actually more comes from my ex. You know, where I was talking about that, you know, you blow up and then, oh, he does care about me. That was my ex. Oh my God. She loved that shit.
She loved the drama.
Fuck
Oh.
that.
Yeah, Nick, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, some women, they just they love, like, not all, like, okay, to a degree. Okay, yes, you can put me in that category too. That I love create drama, and you know, I'm
That
crazy.
category that includes all women?
All women, yes. I'm no exception there. But I think it's the extent, you know, like I don't like women who create constant drama. Like, I get tired from them too.
Well,
you know?
You know, to the men, what I would say is you're never going to find a woman who doesn't create drama, because that's not a thing. That's a unicorn. That's a fantasy.
Yeah.
There's no real world iteration of a woman that doesn't create drama. There's only degrees of how much drama she's going to create.
Yes.
And that, I've seen another thing going around the Twitter sphere. Oh, vetting doesn't work.
Oh, yes, I've seen that one. Oh, it frustrates me.
Well, it should, because what they're really saying is that vetting for absolutes doesn't work because these things don't exist. I didn't vet Elena thinking that I was going to use all of this analysis and at the outside I would decide whether or not she was the quote unquote perfect woman. I vetted her to see if she had enough personality traits that were good to counteract the normal sort of personality of an unrestrained woman. It was looking at the spectrum and saying, where does she sit on the spectrum, and can I handle where she sits? Vetting is not just about, does your woman check off this box, this box, this box? It's, can I handle the shit she's going to throw at me?
And do I want to handle the shit that she's throwing at me?
Yeah. So you must absolutely vet your women. But you're going to be comparing it to, don't compare it to some sort of idealized version of women. That's just blue pilling. And don't compare it to, and do make sure you compare it to what you can handle. Because there are women out there that no man can handle. They're unbreakable. But that's actually not many of them. Most of them can be broken. I'm using that like the horse sense, right? It's just how much effort and energy you're going to have to put into it. And that's what Steve is saying. For so many of us men, we have so much other stuff going on that our ability to handle a constant stream of emotion is actually pretty low, not because we can't, but because we have other things going on that are also demanding our time and attention. And we need to handle those things or the food doesn't show up. And then we get yelled at by the woman for the food not showing up.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on men to keep up with the woman's spiraling emotions, manage her, and then do all of the other things that men are supposed to do.
Yeah. And men, it's okay if you look at a woman and you say, I can't handle you. You're not, a lot of men would say, oh, well, that sounds weak. You are not God. You do not have an infinite supply of anything, including the ability to handle a contentious woman. And and here's the thing that'll happen if you do, guys. If you say, oh yeah, but she's so hot, I gotta have her.
Dumb. Stop thinking with your dick.
Yeah. What ends up happening is you, the man, are now signing yourself up for divorce court. You bit off more than you could chew.
And that video I played, remember?
Oh, at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I found the stream. I want to give people a link to this. I'm going to put it on stage. We're not going to listen to this. Okay. This is from Rich Cooper's stream, Unplugged Alpha. This is Moth. How and where to find a quality woman. He just did this week. Okay, go watch the stream. You guys who are looking for a woman. You know what his conclusion is? And I've said this. You will not find a ready-made woman. She doesn't exist. The perfect woman does not exist. Stop looking for her. How do you vet a woman? You vet a woman for the absence of red flags and problems. You look
Correct.
for a blank slate, an empty canvas. Yeah, is she going to be perfect? No. There's going to be some blemishes.
But
There's gonna be some
Steve,
problems. And so now your job is to take this kind of a block of marble and sculpt it. Use your influence. It's a little bit plush. Women are pliable. They will conform to what you want to do. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to control everything, but you find a woman who is capable of becoming the woman, because she's not going to learn things on her own. A man takes hardship. He goes off in a cave somewhere. He goes, let me understand this. What did I do wrong? What did she do wrong? What are the circumstances? How am I going to come out of this and do better? Woman has this trauma, and she kind of bottles it up and projects it on the world. Not that she has to change her behavior. So do not look for the perfect woman, because the perfect woman doesn't exist.
yeah, but feminists think that they are perfect the way they are for existing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's
Whatever.
great. She's already disqualified herself.
Yeah.
Because she's not listening to anything you say.
Exactly.
She's like concrete. Her mind is like concrete, all mixed up and permanently set.
Oh, that's a good one.
So, you know what? Women, okay, we've already established, and you guys all know, that women are influenced by social media, by their friends, and they can change, and they can all of a sudden think you're a bad guy. Gee, who'd have thunk? Women are pliable? Yeah, they are. Why are you so stupid that you think you cannot use this tendency to make the woman pliable to a good relationship? Not for your personal gratification, although that's in there, but actually pliable for her benefit, to conform her into a better woman. Because women, when they choose on drama, their decisions that they make emotionally, which is pretty much all of them, they all turn into a disaster. Yes, I was emotional. I projected all my issues on him, and I got divorced. I got some cash and prizes. Yeah. How about 15 years later?
They don't want to think about that.
Boxed wine.
Yeah.
Her decision was a disaster.
Yeah.
Hey, so you know what? Elias, you are going to have influence in control. Not control, because you can't exert. It's not 24/7.
No.
But you're going to have great influence. Actually, sometimes tell her no. You're going to have to enforce boundaries. And I'm not talking physically or abusively.
Okay, what would you suggest men to do if let's say they followed your advice, they were saying no to a woman, and then she rebels against that no, and then she goes off and does her own thing anyway?
Let her go, walk away.
Walk away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say you can't
Mm-hmm.
you cannot do this by stepping in and trying to control the situation harder. It'll just cause her to rebel more.
Yes.
You walk away and you withdraw your time and your attention and you might even withdraw if she's done this many times and she's proven that she's not that this is what she wants to do, you might even withdraw your resources and leave the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I know as Christians we're not supposed to do that, but at some point with these women, are they really behaving in a Christian way themselves? No, probably
Exactly.
not. Okay, so
No. Withdrawal of resources is one of the first things you should do.
Yeah.
When marriage is difficult, the first thing you got to do, take your money under your personal control. No longer joint money. No, it's my money.
Steve, that's abusive.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Well, fuck.
You know what? That's control.
agree.
That's assertiveness. That's dominant. That's
Yeah,
enforcing
because if women
boundaries.
can,
No, you don't get to behave however the hell you want and still expect rent to be paid.
there
bread
should
on
be
the table.
consequences. to
There's
behavior.
a value you bring. Oh, what? Respect, sexual variety, and peace.
Yeah.
And I bring provision and security. You stop giving those three to me. Sorry. You can't expect me to keep providing to you when you're in active rebellion.
Yep.
Social contract is broken. Marital contract is broken.
It's broken based on the Christian principles, but if the law is still on a woman's side, and this is where men get
all
screwed.
you can do is minimize the damage.
Exactly. But guys, the other thing is, don't go from 0 to high order violence right away, right? Like, you don't go from 0 to taking away the resource. I don't have to take away all my resources from Elena when she gets out of pocket. She's a good woman, so I don't take it all away. Remember what I said? I take the phone away. She still has access to all of the other stuff. She can still go play her piano and calm herself down, right?
Piano actually helps, or doing fitness.
Right.
So you don't act rashly, but you do act rationally.
Yes, exactly. Well, and also there's a proportionality to it. If the punishment is all out of proportion to the crime, then the person doing the crime goes, wait, what the hell's going on here? They're so busy going, what the hell, that they're not learning the lesson. Okay. So I suppose you could say it's like disciplining a child, right?
It kind of is. Yeah.
Again, with children, there has to be some proportionality to the crime that the child committed. But
like,
that has nothing to do with children. Discipline always needs to be proportional. That's true of our criminal court system too.
Yes. Well, but the point here is that with Elena, I don't start with I'm threatening to take away my resources and protection. In fact, I don't even start by saying I'm going to take the phone away. No, that's the third time. So she gets a standard. Hey, you need to. She's just standard. Hey, you need to be over. In her case, it's usually you need to be going to bed now, because she likes to do the phone at night thing.
Yeah, I see that in the morning.
Yeah.
In the group chat.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least I'm not going on social media, guys.
No. But see, the guys know what I'm talking about. And so then the next time I'm going to escalate. So the first time I just say, hey, you need to go to bed. The next time I say, look, you've been in there a long time. You need to put the phone down. And then you need to go to bed. And then the third time it'll be, do I need to take your phone away from you? Or do I need to turn your phone off now? Because I can log into our account and I can disable her phone. But I'm not going to do that.
I actually asked you sometimes to block my card.
For money, yes.
Yes,
she asked me to block her card.
Because I couldn't.
There's so much drama coming from social media into Elena's life. You could just cut her off and say, enough of this. No more social media. No more YouTube. It's all done. Yeah, that would be really stupid.
It would.
And you don't do that because she needs an outlet. It's her. She enjoys it and she's good at it.
Yep.
Just a lot of
Yep.
good in the world.
Yep.
And okay, that is what she does. She greatly enjoys the musical stuff, physical fitness stuff, in these discussions. So no, that would be really stupid to cut that off. So you're not a tyrant.
What?
You just need to put some mitigation on it, some control, not deprive her of this
Shocker,
whole
right?
area.
Not a tyrant.
No, but the family court tyrants would call you a tyrant.
Oh, I know they would.
yeah.
The people on her Instagram called me all sorts of heinous things, having never met or listened to me. Like they've determined that I am
Whatever.
all
I
the
don't, I
evils.
don't care.
Hey,
I
you
don't
need to
care.
just get the shirt. Get the
I need a short.
people
I need a short. My husband is an abuser.
Oh God, dude,
I
I'm
need
not sure.
that short. Somebody, if you find it, maybe I will have to custom make it, and I'll wear it.
No,
I don't know if he wants you to do that.
No. Well, first of all, they probably won't let you make it.
Yeah, I know.
Second of all,
Oh, my husband is a tyrant.
no one is going to understand what you're saying, and so they're going to view it as a cry for help, and we really don't want the cops calling on us.
True. Yes. That's true. Oh gosh. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
and
well,
we're going to leave that one there.
I was trying to be helpful, guys. I would wear it with a smiling face and say, like, yes, more of that.
Yeah, don't do that. That'll just be a cry for help.
I know.
So, but you don't have to be a tyrant to do this. In fact, I would say that being a tyrant actually makes it worse, because she's going to respond to you like you would expect a human to respond to a tyrant. Further rebellion. Tyrants produce rebellion.
How well does it work to kick a dog every day?
It doesn't.
What's a dog do? Cower,
Yeah.
run away from you.
Mm-hmm.
May stay there because it doesn't have a choice. But is that going to ever be a good dog? If you just kick it like a tyrant, don't care about the dog. Yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, and it takes a lot of energy and effort to be a tyrant. I'm not going to do that. No, not worth my time to be that controlling. I'm not going to devote that much energy to it.
I'll be honest. One of the things that I found attractive about Elena is I recognized very early that she was not going to require enormous amounts of my time. I'm very busy. I have a lot going on that I have to deal with every day. I do not have the time to control every aspect of a woman's life. I just don't. I've got other things to do with my day. And she doesn't require that I spend enormous amounts of time and energy stomping on her to keep her in line. I have to do some work. Guys, if you want a woman, you're going to have to do work. If you just want to focus on your hustle and on your game, that's fine. Don't bring a woman into that. But if you can handle it, okay, you've still got to look for one that's not going to be, this is what the vetting is for. You're still going to have to look for one that's not going to that isn't demanding all of your time. When these women, they say, oh, he never paid any attention to me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like
What
in the
they're
video.
saying. Yeah, exactly. What they're saying is he didn't have as much time as I wanted him to spend on me.
And yet she expected him to take care of her financially and
Sure.
Provide security and protection.
But
yeah.
There are women out there who will require more time than there is hours in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. These are women for which there is no hope that you can. I mean, if you're into plate spinning, you can use them as a plate because they tend to be crazy, and we know where that ends up. But for the rest of it, no, you can't. You don't have the time to deal with these women because they require more than is possible.
Mhm.
Yes, I know that for a fact. In between my marriages, I had a good female friend. And we hung out a lot together. Yeah, she was exactly that type of woman. But, and I don't want to go into details, but I didn't stick my dick in crazy.
Oh, good.
That's always a good idea.
Good, Steve.
And then the friendship came to an abrupt end. I said something that really pissed her off and embarrassed her to her friends. I can tell you what that was.
Oh, tell us. I'm curious.
No, the salacious drama queen.
Well, I'm trying to help men here so that they can learn from your wisdom and from your
And the
experience.
rationalization hamster kicked in. The
You
moment
know-
I called
do
it
you know-
out.
Boo-boo kitty shit emails that women send out. Like it's pyramid marketing, pray for this,
Yes,
that.
yes. Oh,
It's
yes.
just like,
Ugh.
holy shit. This stuff fucking blows my mind. But it's the whatever you want to call these kind of emails. Well, I got on this email list. She sent one of these stupid ass one too many to me. And I responded to her whole group. This is pablum for pudenda. Okay. Pablum is baby food. Pudenda is a sophisticated word for pussy. Pussies. So I basically said, this is baby food for pussies.
Oh,
And that
How
was the
dare
end
you.
of our friendship.
How dare you?
I thought it was completely hilarious. It was a really great response, wasn't it?
it was.
Man, but you know what? I embarrassed her in front of her to her friends by calling
Your
out
sisterhood.
that stupid ass fucking what? Have you seen those emails that women pass around amongst?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I get
My
them.
God, they
Yeah.
are just horrendous.
Oh.
I need to unsubscribe from sometimes I get them and I read them out of curiosity because I just want to feel like you guys.
hey,
Feel
a woman just said it, guys. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
And like I know that I will hate this email afterwards, but I still like damn you, she's stupid. Oh!
And the amount of magical thinking in those emails.
Mhm.
If you send this to 10 other women, you will have great blessings in your life. What the fuck kind of magical bullshit thinking is this?
Manifest.
Do you know why this irritates men? It's like, holy shit, are you this fucking stupid? Yeah,
Like,
the
I will
answer is
never-
yes.
Yes,
Yes.
they are.
Yes.
Like I
Guys.
never resent those emails. I got
And that's
them.
the type of sermons they like hearing too in the churches.
Oh God,
This
yes.
is how they spread their bullshit. You know what, guys? This is how they spread their bullshit. If you say in the
It's
radical,
one way.
okay, ladies, if you spread this email, let's say I send out an email to a bunch of chicks there and say to them, ladies, if you spread this truth to your other 10 friends, you and your friends are more likely to have better outcomes in their lives. At least I'm not lying to them, right? But will they share the truth?
No.
If we apply the same logic that
'Cause it-
feminists use,
Well, you used a key word, logic. Yeah, no. There's no logic in these emails. There
I know.
is, right? The only way these emails get passed is because it's fantastical, illogical, irrational nothingness. So
I
there's no.
yet saw a woman who would just share my account with the other woman, and maybe there are I give them the benefit.
Oh,
of
I'm
doubt.
sure
Thank
some
you,
do.
Thank you, yes, thank you, ladies, for if you are doing that. But it's just so rare to see women spreading the truth to other people. or like
Yeah.
sharing the account that really helps them. We just share this information with somebody who can benefit from it.
A few will, but it doesn't make them feel.
But it's only a few. It's not the majority of them.
It doesn't make them feel good. The
Yeah.
truth rarely makes people feel good,
Mhm.
and women want to feel good for whatever definition of feel and good they're using. Okay, that's why this stuff doesn't make it. Yes, there's some women in the red pill. There's a list.
Mhm.
It's not a very long list though, and there's a reason for that, because very few women can approach the truth at all.
Oh yeah.
Like,
And very
regardless
few
of how it
women
makes them
are
feel.
actually willing to do the work that's necessary. You know, I predict we will see way more women in the red pill, because it's a different field of, okay, they are going to advertise themselves to a better, more masculine man, and that can be lucrative to them, you know, to get more attention. It won't be just the simpy attention that they get from those sims on social media. It will be a different kind of audience. So I predict we will see more younger women. They are not going to settle down. They are not going to get married to one man. They will prioritize still the army of dudes, but it will be maybe within the red pill community. This is what I predict. And most of them will not want to do the work. They just want to get the title. Oh, I'm in the red pill, so guys, follow me. Getting, you know.
What you're saying is the RPM is going to rev.
Yeah.
RPM. Red pill mask.
Yes.
It's going to increase.
Yes.
It's not reality. It's
Not
how they
real.
have to appear to be for survival.
I think
it's
you
more
guys
about the mask and appearance than
the
about
mask she
reality.
wears. That's
Yes.
your live stream. Yeah. That you did. I highly recommend you to go subscribe to the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. The guys are here with me, and watch the mask she wears live stream. It applies also the RPM, what Steve mentioned, women. I will see more, like I already see quite a few of them, younger women, talking about, and I agree with them. Like, look, from like, yeah, they make sense, but are they married? Are they willing to sacrifice the freedom and the clout that they get from this?
Yeah, they might
type of
be to get
content?
wifed up, but if they're wearing a mask,
Yeah.
yeah, that mask comes off within 7 to 10 years. That's why you see the divorces happen at that, 7-year married mark, maybe 10-year relationship mark, somewhere in that time frame. It's because the mask is too restrictive. And okay, what's the mask? He puts on this mask in order to get love. So the man loves her because he thinks she's this type of woman. But deep down, she knows she's not that woman. So the love she's receiving is for a fake her, and it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So she can dismiss it and say, you know what? That love was not satisfying, and blame it on him because she was never a genuine woman with, oh, you know what? Showing her baggage. And here's the problem in our modern dating world. If a woman reaches late 20s and you wife her up, she's got baggage. Come from a divorced family, bad relationship with her father, promiscuity, maybe an abortion. Maybe she was unfaithful to a previous boyfriend. Yeah, okay, I call that IPA guilt. Infidelity, promiscuity, abortion. Okay, that is baggage. She's carrying that along. She's not going to tell you because she's wearing a mask of the good girl. But if you love that kind of woman, and then she knows deep down she doesn't deserve your love and your love is not real. What is the solution? Hey, it's the actual come to Jesus moment. You have to have humility. You have to confess you have to reveal your baggage and find out if he loves you or can love you for the real you. Now, comes at great risk. Okay, well, if you want real love, you have to bring the real you. And that comes at great risk.
Well,
But
this is
ironically, the real you, revealing the real you, shows you're a much, much, much better woman than the woman who pretends to be the perfect one.
well, this is why these OnlyFans chicks, they are revealing their baggage, you know? It's like what? They are more honest than the Tretcons, than the spirituality quest chicks, how I call them. They are definitely more honest about their baggage. Love them for who they are. I mean, come on.
No, they're not.
Mm,
They're not.
no.
They're putting it out there. There is a thing that humans do when they've screwed up,
Mhm.
and they know they've screwed up, where they put it out there, and they blast it out there. They make sure everyone knows. It's almost performative, and it feels like it. And it's because they would much rather you focus on the thing that they did than look at them. It's actually a deflection from a psychological standpoint.
If you cheer me for my dysfunction,
Mm-hmm.
then it maybe won't feel so guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
I show my aberrant social behavior in public, and you cheer me on, and enable me. I don't have to feel guilty about it.
Oh, in other words,
Perfect.
celebrate me for.
Celebrate the fact that I changed. See how good it is that I changed.
The knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, not even change. I don't have to change. You celebrate me for my dysfunction, I don't have to feel bad.
Yeah.
Dysfunction,
We have
and
a
sometimes
perfect
they put
example of this.
Celebrate me for wearing a different mask now.
No, celebrate me for my dysfunction. My blatant dysfunction.
If they want to if they want you to view them differently, they will wear put on a different mask and.
Yeah, but I'm not even going that far. Think of your gay pride parade. I can come out here. I can have a float. We can float down Main Street. I can let my freak flag fly. And everybody comes out and claps. Any guilt I had about my behavior, hey, people are cheering my behavior. So the more you expose your aberrant behavior and everybody cheers, you're trying to not let the guilt or dysfunction affect you. And it's an enablement. Gee, does that sound like a similar effect with these OF models? They want you to cheer what they're doing.
Fans.
Yeah, it's in the name. Yeah. Well, and in this particular case, with like the Nala chick, she had lots of men cheering her deviant behavior, and so she's she's actually doing now is she is doing the exact same strategy. Cheer me for my new behavior.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because her new behavior is now magically socially acceptable, even though she did the exact same stuff she did without clothes on with clothes on, but now she gets all of the acceptable people cheering her.
Yeah, so I have a question for you guys in terms of red pill, because I care about the red pill community. Would it be good if we were more careful whom we accept into this community?
It's not about acceptance. You don't get to choose who comes and who comes in and who doesn't. There's so few of them as it is that it's.
Yeah, I know.
You have to learn to work with what you've got.
Yeah, you have to work with the ones that.
Okay, and you're gonna have to accept that women aren't coming into the red pill for the same reasons as men are.
Yes.
Okay. I would not worry about trying to vet women too much before they come in.
Mm-hmm.
The vetting will happen as time goes on. Women always tell on themselves. And the red pill is the one space where we teach men how to see and understand when women are telling on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if they come in and they're wearing a mask and they're being duplicitous in their behavior, we're going to figure it out. I don't worry too much about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I wouldn't either. So I don't see it as a.
So
as
you
a
kind
high-
of welcome them and then prove yourself with action and your consistency and work.
Yeah, but
Right. And
you
also,
don't
yeah.
you don't have to make it an interrogation. You don't have to turn it into
Yeah, I understand.
outlets and star chamber sessions and all torture. Basically, it doesn't. All you're going to do is convince women that you're insane and that they're.
Yeah, true. That makes sense.
So I don't worry about it too much because what we're really doing anyway when we're actually demonstrating proper male restraints, proper male self-control, proper male dominance, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So and male understanding of female nature. Like we're actually practicing what we preach.
So Elena asked, should we make red pill a clean room?
Clean room.
And
Clean room.
screen everything to keep the germs out of the red pill. No. Oh, practice red pill hygiene. So we don't have any of that, icky stuff coming in. Well, no. Red pill is not a clean room.
Some
we can't screen
let...
out the germs. We just have
like
to live in the real world. There is no hygiene. You come in here, we're going to have to be men with our own immune systems from this and just live.
So somebody earlier had the idea of women coming into the public forum when it was just men, and then they try to fix it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
No.
Well, right.
Fix it, yeah.
The men. Like, I'm not saying that we don't allow women in, but we hold women, you're going to be judged according to our standards. You're going to be treated according to our standards. This is our space.
Mm-hmm.
If you are here as a guest. There is certain behavior and decorum that is expected of you. And yes,
Look,
it's different
I'm a
than
guest.
men.
I know that I'm a guest. Like I don't do anything that you guys don't approve of.
What we're saying is we don't need women to try to clean it up for us.
Yeah.
We can handle our business.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly enough, women who come in and say, "Oh, we need to fix it," are they're coming in and they're saying women know better how to run men's spaces. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
Sure you do.
Yeah.
Back in your box.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's writing notes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, we've been at this for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's been a long one, but it's an interesting because I see I notice what's happening on social media and
Oh, do you ever?
Yeah, I know.
Guys,
I think we should retitle this stream. Picking on the pick-me.
Picking on the pick-me.
Oh, that matches more of what was going on here today. I was hoping we would pick on like the crazy women on social media.
We did.
We did.
Not my name.
Right.
Conceptually, we did.
Well, I need apparently I need my ego checked once in a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Checking your ego? That didn't happen today. You had 3 men paying attention to you. That was just stroking your ego.
Even when, hey guys, even when she hated this, she loved it.
Sure.
Paradox.
I know it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing for people to accept. But even as she was hating it and she was getting, uppity and angry with mostly me, she was loving it because there's three dudes who are sitting here explaining things to her in detail, and she's getting all this attention, and she gets to ask all these questions, and then she gets men to answer her questions. Oh goodness. How do you think that makes a woman feel? She gets to lead men around by asking them questions. Oh.
I think
She
if
lo-
women were willing to listen more to men, they would actually learn. So hopefully there will be a few women. Maybe.
They might listen.
No.
There's learning.
No.
Learning
Like
is a discipline.
I'm thinking about Donovan ran a long live stream a few days ago, the one that I joined him for from the Fresh and Fit episode. But like girls are just so disrespectful.
No, they're not gonna learn. Learning would require discipline.
And it requires masculine fathers.
Yeah. They're not gonna. Don't hope for women who. You're not going to fix women by fixing women. You're going to fix women by getting men back in the positions that they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Dominance, masculinity, fatherhood. That's how you fix women.
Get them back in the kitchen. That might help.
Well, yeah, it would. But not in the way we need it to help. So somebody just wants him a sandwich down there. I can tell. We must be getting on. We must be getting close to sandwich time for Nick down
Lunch,
there.
yeah. Well, it's like after giving women all of this power and control, women will have to give it up.
Yes, they're not going to give it up willingly. So you just accept that. And honestly, indifference to it's really just indifference. You just okay. You're not going to accept it. That's fine. I don't care. I'm gonna be over here.
This is kind of what men start doing.
Yeah, well, that's the cycle of life. Strong men create good times create weak men create hard times create strong men. We're just moving up to we're moving through the weak times create
strong men.
Unfortunately, I think Elena is right. Women are going to have to give it up.
That'll be taken from them. I don't think it'll.
No, it won't. I don't agree with that. You cannot take it from women.
Yeah, they will. They willingly.
When times get really tough,
women will have to.
At some point, the government, Big Daddy government, is going away.
Yeah.
And they don't get the income stream, and they're going to starve without a
They
man.
first have to starve before they make that sacrificial.
Okay. So if you're going to starve or you're going to find a man, what are you willing to do to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, listen to what you say for food and protection. Oh, and to keep me away from the scary, bad world. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. I agree with Steve. I think this is
women will choose when it's their best option.
When it's the only option that they have left. When nothing else that they
that's the part that gets to what Nick is talking about. When you're down to your last option, is it really an option?
No, you by force you mean that they don't have any other option.
Well, remember your self-defense class.
Yeah.
Self-defense is not the last option. It's what you do when there are no options. It's kind of like what's going on here. So Steve is correct. Things have to get bad enough to force women to say,
I don't want this power. Yeah.
No. They're not going to say it that way. They're going to say, you'll feed me if I give up, or you'll feed me if I do this and that. Okay. It'll still be done as a trade, but it will be done when she has no other when there are no options. It's either that or death.
Oh,
When her
you mean
option
like
is
when there
death.
is when we run out of Sims and when OnlyFans stops working for them?
The simps will still exist.
Okay.
And she's going to go pleading to the simps to save her. OnlyFans will be gone because men won't have the resources to spend the money to enable the women. That goes away. She's not getting her Section 8 benefits for her rent because the government's broke. That's okay. Is this going to happen soon? Probably not. Is it going to happen sometime in the next 100 years? Probably.
Yeah.
So all the social net goes away. That's gone. And a woman has no choice because there are few jobs. The jobs that are there require actual productivity. You know what? The men have those jobs. Government, Big Daddy government is not there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're not getting child support or spousal maintenance. You are starving. Your children are starving. You don't have a pot to piss in. You don't have a house. You don't have food. Oh, what's your option? Well, one is prostitution. The other one is actually finding a good man to serve if he will provide. And this, is it sexual? Yes and no. It's about respecting him, needing him. Yes, sexual variety, that's a given. And are you going to criticize that guy if you have a man and you don't? You know what? Monkey branching does not look like a good option. No, you are forced.
You are forced to stay with the man.
You are forced into making this decision in staying with the man.
Staying with the man
you have. Because it's not the man forcing you, it's circumstances. So it takes a certain kind of force to change a woman's behavior.
Yeah.
It's not patriarchal force. It's
external
force of circumstances.
Or biological force.
Societal also. Yeah.
Okay. And
society's mostly
absolutely. You think I'm just, spouting, a fantasy. No. We're on a trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
And it will not change until it changes. What's it going to require to change? I just told you. Is it going to happen this year? Is Trump going to cause this to happen?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Is it going to happen sooner or is it going to happen later? I don't know. I really don't. But we're on this trajectory. We'll eventually arrive at this point. And you can say I'm delusional, but every time, if you look back in history, there were cycles. And they reached a low point when things were unsustainable. Things collapsed till they got remedied, and then they grew from there. It's going to happen again. Probably not in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish I knew, but if I knew, then we wouldn't be having this conversation because Elena and I would be sipping Mai Tais on the Plutarch Virgin Islands down there that I own, that I bought with all the money I made from knowing the answer to this question. So, again, I don't worry about that. It's women will do what women are going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to accept that women got power, and people who get power do not give up power easily.
Exactly.
Or willingly.
They're going to fight and rebel, and
they're going to fight it the whole way down.
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that you can really do right now is provide a counter example and then demonstrate that it works better. And as things continue to get worse, more and more women are going to look at that and go, but that woman, she's got a real nice life. Yeah, I don't like that she has to give up all this stuff to get it. But you know what? My life ain't so great right now. And I can tell you right now, I have brothers and they are on the dating apps. And I ask them, how's it going?
Mhm.
You know, and one of my brothers, he's on all of them, and he does kind of like Joker does, where he takes screenshots of some of the worst of the worst. And
I should have your brother on at some point. So
yeah,
we can talk about it.
but what he will tell you that he is seeing a significant increase in the number of women on dating apps as we've started firing women from government jobs.
Mhm.
And these are not women that you really want anything to deal with. They have the funky hair colors. They tell you about how strong and independent they are. They don't need you, but they're out there looking. And of course, the women don't realize the paradox of being a strong, independent woman who doesn't need no man on an app that's specifically for finding men for them. But women have no trouble holding paradoxes in their heads, guys. Like if I had to learn anything, it was that. And it can be frustrating as a guy, but you just accept it.
The cognitive dissonance is real.
Yeah. So we are already starting to see women come. They lose their job. What do? They get Tinder, they get Bumble, they get Hinge. George Bruno's video, plenty of fish, plenty of whales, really, but that's that's a different problem. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Plenty of whales.
So,
but they come on there with their blue hair
and
their boss babe mentality.
Oh yeah.
And expect it to work.
Oh yeah. They haven't learned the lesson yet. The pain I mean,
hasn't. Yeah.
Right. So a lot of these women, they're either on severance because they took like an 8-month, I think they got like 8 months severance. So the pain really hasn't started for them yet.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, they know that they have women don't think into the future. Well, these women they're already on these apps knowing that they've got 8 months to find a guy to take care of them. Women can do this. They have to be forced
Monkeys
into it.
in search of branches.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, women are perfectly capable of looking at their present situation and projecting forward.
This is like the 2008, 2009 downturn repeating.
Yeah, it is. I expect this one to be worse for the women because their attitudes and understanding of the world has degraded significantly since then. Yeah.
And more men are waking up.
Elena, write this down. Here's a topic for a stream in July.
July.
Monkeys in search of branches.
Monkeys in search of Oh, that's amazing.
Well, we gotta let it develop. Yep. We're gonna have are we gonna have stories come July?
Yeah.
Yes. You're gonna start to see a lot of stories in October. Because 2 things happen in October. One, the severance runs out. So the government fiscal year ends on September 30th. And with that, so basically what Trump is doing is he's saying, we'll offer you severance till September 30th. And then I think the idea is that they can redo the budget with all the cuts. Okay. Which means on October 1st, these women have no more money. And so you're going to see an increase in, October 1st, you've got Halloween 30 days later. So you're going to see an increase in slutty nurse outfits as they prepare for their first major outing to go find men. And then they're going to immediately flip to, we got to do trad so that we can catch Thanksgiving. And then it's going to be Christmas time. And all the songs about family and Christmas time and all the Christian songs, about how Jesus loved the world and Jesus was, that's all going to come out.
Wait, are we going to see any sexy elf?
I assume
costumes?
you will. Yes.
Oh, great. Man, I love those.
Steve.
Sexy elf.
But I want to have this stream prior to this, because we're going to see the pressure building.
Yes.
And we want to talk about it before it actually comes into play, because we want to be predictive and warn people. And then, yeah, it's the ego in me.
Well, that's
afterwards we can say, I told you so.
Yeah,
that's why I wanted to bring up the list of holidays, because every one of those holidays, those women are going to be leveraging to try and find a man to provide for them.
I saw the videos for St. Valentine's Day about attention and gifts, and
Valentine's Day, that one kind of happens every year. I expect next year's to be way worse. It was a little too early this year.
Christmas.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're going to get bludgeoned with Christmas this year, especially the Christian guys. We are going to get beat to death with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but just keep an eye out for these things, Ben, out there listening. Just keep it, just be aware that this is coming, and you voted for this, which I'm okay with. I agree with it, but remember, women are going to change their masks. They're going to change the leopard is going to change its spots. Yeah.
Yes. They're not going to change their attitude and behavior yet, because they will see what they can get out of you by just changing the appearance and the mask first. And then if they are forced, they will start walking.
Well, okay. So what should a young woman do?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking whoever. Yeah, let's start with you. Elena, what should a young woman do?
Well, don't take advice from single get ladies on social media.
That's a don't. That's not a what she should do.
Well, but there is a lot of bad influence there.
That's
right.
Yes, and
not a should.
Yeah. What do they need to do?
Damn, that's a hard
okay. Good enough. We're not going to hold
I can't even give out advice to young women.
Okay.
Wow.
Don't ask. Okay, that illustrates something. Don't ask women for solutions. They can be good women, but don't put them on the spot and ask them for a solution.
Yeah, because I don't know.
All I know is good sport there.
I know.
For young women. Okay. You know what? You're going to have to change. You're going to have to accept discipline. Recognize that you don't have the internal discipline to discipline yourself. You need male leadership. Okay. Decide that now. Be the, and do what a man likes and actually become that woman. Okay. Respect a man. I'm not saying spread your legs, but permanent relationship, marriage type, long-term relationship.
That's what I was
sexual
thinking.
Variety. And you know what? Peace. You're not going to nag him. You're going to be dependent on him and allow him. Okay, I'm just saying this to women. That not that a man has to have the woman allow him, but she has to, in her mind, allow him to have the leadership role. Find a man early.
Yeah.
It's like musical chairs. Once the chairs are occupied and you're out, you're fucked. So find a man early. You're going to have to change your behavior, and you're going to have to be real, and you're going to have to be honest with him, and primarily with yourself. And if you're putting on an act, fuck you.
Yeah, it's so like if it's pretentious.
If you're putting on an act, you
Yeah.
deserve to be pumped and dumped.
Pumped and
And I'll
dumped.
say it that way.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if you're putting on an act, your guy is going to be able to do a comparison between you who's putting on the act and you and the one who's not. And as this happens, there's going to be fewer and fewer women putting on the act. Right now, the women hide because they all act the same way, and they all wear the same feminist mask. Okay, as more and more women start to reject that, it's going to become harder for you young women out there to hide behind an act when there's real ones out there who actually are doing what they're.
You have to do the actual work.
You know what the other implication is? Okay, you're a woman with a man. Great. You got a man. Do you have any idea what kind of opportunities he is going to be presented with when things get ugly?
I can tell you, Elena worries about this all day, every day.
Okay. If you are not behaving now, it's time to clean up your act now in preparation for the bad times. Because if you have a good man, you want to be his best option. Don't be an obnoxious, controlling, nagging bitch. Do not be a contentious woman. Do not be a woman that withholds sex from him. You know what? You got a man. You should be happy about that because, I'm not saying the man is going to stray. I'm not saying that. But in the next year, if he's really a good man, he is going to be presented with opportunity. A man, okay, it's not a scary thing. It's not, because a man somehow in his psyche, he knows he's not accountable to the woman. Is this a bad thing? No, this is a good thing. A man knows he's accountable to God. A man is the glory of God. A woman is the glory of man. A woman serves the man serves God. The man's mission is his mission under God. The woman's mission is her mission under the man. So do not assume that if you don't have control over your man, that he won't practice, won't adhere to principle and morality. If he knows his purpose, he knows that he's responsible to a greater power than you. And that's the only way you should want it.
Well, but first they need, in order to get that kind of mindset and do the things that you told them to do, I think what women could work on is realize that they just detect lies around them, that they've been misled, and start calling out the bullshit. Because, maybe not like publicly, but even with all of those.
They just the women just need to go. Remember what we've been talking about this whole time. Women come into the public forum and they freak out. If you're a young woman, walk away from the public forum. Walk away from the social media. Put down the phones.
Put down the phones.
You want to be a good man? You want to be a good woman for a good man? Focus on the family life. Focus on the offline, not internet life. That's where you'll find success. So don't, you're saying get out there and shit. No. In fact, the thing that would most undo the feminists is for women to stop caring about the public space at all.
That's a good point. Yeah. So shall I do the same? Shall I quit my social media? Because I'm thinking.
You asked that question about once a month.
Well, like yeah, because I like instead of focusing on other people's problems, just focus on solving your problem and be happy with the man that you're with.
No, and Steve explained earlier as to why in your specific case we're not going to go that way. What I'm saying is for a young woman who's looking for a man, you're not looking for a man. Okay.
Well,
At
but
least
then
I
it
hope.
gives the right. Then it gives the right to all of these married chicks who have been married and they could be in a relationship to say that. But I'm married. I'm not looking for a man.
But they're not. But they're not under the control of a man. They're not under the restraint of a man.
No. Nope.
So first thing is for a young woman, change your dress, the way you dress.
They already do that. Some of them, like red wines.
Well, this is going to be radical. Stop with revealing skin and enticement with your body. Now, I do want you to dress feminine and look nice. Man, have you seen what kind of man do you want to attract? First of all. So, what if, oh man, what if you wore like a skirt that went below your knees? Shapely, shows your shape, and a tasteful top, blouse. Not showing a lot of cleavage, not showing shoulders, not a window box around your boobs. None of that crap. Just tasteful, but feminine. What kind of man is going to notice you if you're dressed feminine, but not enticing? Is that the kind of man you want? Now, tattoos? No.
George Bruno posted a video.
Fancy nails? No. The bull ring in your nose? No.
No.
So, damn. How many times? Hey, Nick, you're out and about. How many times do you see a very attractive woman who understands modest feminine dress? I mean, she's not hiding her femininity. She's not hiding her shape. She's just not blatantly showing it. Would that woman might be worth talking to?
Perhaps.
Yeah, okay.
But they're not many
That's
of
my
them.
advice. Oh, wow. There's not many of them? Be that woman then.
Yeah.
Well, like I see some women, they definitely follow that already. They dress up more modestly. They don't reveal too much skin. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just we have to keep in mind that it's all superficial level. There is more to it than just changing.
How do you know? How do you know if it's superficial? If you become proud of your modesty, then it's superficial.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to blast your modesty out on social media, you ain't modest.
Have I told you lately how humble I am?
Yeah, right. Give me like. See, I'm so humble here. I'm so modest. I have natural beauty here. The girls like in their 20s, they don't dress like horse, but they totally have the same mindset like horse. They're seeking the same attention.
Nick.
Yeah.
He's the other single guy here. Will you pick a thin, just average weight woman? He's a 5. She's a solid 5. She has a nice personality, a little bit submissive. She listens to you. She's dressed modestly. but she's only a 5. But she's not a fat whale. Will you wife up or choose a 5 with a good personality over a hot 7?
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. There we have it. You girls who you think, oh, I'm just not that beautiful. I don't stand a chance. Stop competing against the hotties who are revealing all their skin. You know what? What does a man want? Respect, sexual variety, and peace. Can a 4 or 5 be a good woman? Absolutely. You can respect her, man. You know what? He's average. Yeah, he's going to be attracted to you. That's fine. Just don't be a prude. And you know what? Peace. Give him peace. Let him, don't contend with him for the leadership position. Hell yes. Most 80% of men will pick the 5 if she's that kind of woman. Hell yeah, sign me up.
Well, if she doesn't have this entitled attitude and delusions that make it very hard to deal with her, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of things that young women can do. They would have to choose to do them. They're not right now, and there's nothing we can do about that. And Nick, and
truth is truth.
Yeah, and we just have to accept that and keep on moving on.
Yeah.
You can't make them do what you want them to do. We can't be tyrants anymore, to them any more than we can be tyrants to the women we actually marry.
Yeah.
It doesn't for the same reasons.
It
just doesn't work. So yeah, just
True.
keep on keeping on.
Well, guys, I have to wrap it up because I'm already late for my language club with Emma and Raif. Thank you so much. It was very, very interesting today. Look, even I got schooled, ladies, and see, I didn't die. Nothing bad happened. I'm still here. I still love the guys.
She didn't explode or combust or
yes. They do it pretty regularly, actually, and it's that paradox that you guys were talking about. I don't like it at the moment, not always, but I realize that it serves me well in the long term. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for doing it. And remember to please like, share, and subscribe. Go subscribe to the Resurgence of Sanity. What are you doing this Wednesday?
I'm leading it. It's the problem of equality, or equality is the problem.
I see. Yeah.
And then a week later, I'm going to do inequality is the problem.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Tune in. I think it's going to be good.
It's I can already sense it's going to be awesome shows, guys. Yeah, I forgot to put the banner here, so please like, share, and subscribe. Tell us what you think about these topics that we've covered today. If you disagree, tell us why, and we'll see you all next time. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.